Hey everyone, it's Greg, and if you're looking to make a blog about what you love doing or your favorite stuff, your business, your travels, your music, your fashion, or anything like that, then you're in the right place. So here's the blog we're going to make together today from start to finish, and I wanted to fast forward here and show it to you guys completed because I'm so excited and because I think it's absolutely beautiful. We've made a lot of blogs to date. Too many for this old brain to remember, in fact, but this blog takes the cake. It is the most beautiful one we have ever made. You can, of course, set all this up without any computer knowledge required. You don't need to know code or anything about technology, and it doesn't matter how much previous experience you've had because we're going to complete everything together easily in this tutorial. And like I said from the car, you can make a blog about any subject you can think of. I'm just going to make a travel blog because that's what I felt like making and that's what I've been up to lately. So I just wanted to walk you through some of the basics behind the blog to give you a little more context in this tutorial and to explain why we're going to make this exact blog and why I think it could be amazing for your own blogging. After talking with hundreds and maybe even thousands of you guys on YouTube and other social media networks about the blogs we like making, I learned that the number one most important thing we need to keep in mind is that simple is key. Everything we make, from the logo in the header to the navigation menu to our social icons to the way our image slider looks and ultimately the way our blog post entries are displayed on the homepage, must be simple. People see a lot of clutter on the web today, and if we want to get our blog posts across to them and keep people coming back for more of your blog posts, it's important to maintain a simple design. And we're going to do exactly that. For example, every blog post has a simple featured image, a simple set of categories which you can create from scratch, a simple title you give it, and then a simple little excerpt, and you can write whatever you want right here, and then a simple button and some simple features like a date, social icons so people can share it right away from your homepage, and then the list of comments, which is actually one of my favorite features. If we click through in the read more button, we can just see the whole blog post looks very simple and makes great use of this white space stuff. Let's go back to the homepage by clicking on the logo and check out another post. We can check out the cold winter sleigh ride and see that this post is equally simple but has a little more styling with an image gallery inside the post. So I think you're going to like that. It's also incredibly easy to edit your blog, and I'm going to show you how to log in right now. So here I am logging in through the login screen you'll use. And I'm just going to show you how to make a simple change. We're going to make all of our edits through Appearance Customize in WordPress because this new way of editing WordPress lets us see our changes right as we make them. So let's say we wanted to edit this text here in the sidebar that says, "Hey there, nice to meet you." We could just find the text in Widgets, Sidebar, and there it is. And now we just need to write whatever it is we want. And the text will change right there in real time. Next, you just need to save and publish, and the changes will be live. The second thing you guys told me on social media was that you wanted to make sure that you would make a blog the right way. Well, for starters, we're using WordPress.org, which is the same software used by more than 26% of the top 10 million most popular websites on the whole internet. You know, those blogs we saw in the intro weren't just random. I got inspiration from every one of these blogs and used it to make the blog that we're going to do in this tutorial here. On TechCrunch, we're going to make a newsletter subscription just like they have in their sidebar. And you can see we have a newsletter subscription right here, like TechCrunch in our sidebar. And then on the Forbes blog, we're going to make a Google ad just like they do. It's not very clear though in the sidebar. So let's refresh, and there's a better Google ad. So I'm going to show you how to insert a Google ad or two in your sidebar, and Google will pay you when people click on those ads anywhere from about $1 to $20 depending on what your blog is about. And then we can see Marzia's blog, which is really cool, and I got the idea to include the date atop each post from Marzia. So big thanks for that, Marzia. And that way people can see how much you're writing or what your blogging schedule is, and just stay up to date with all your content. And then we have Zoella, another insanely popular blog. And Zoella uses this really cool overlap feature with the titles of her blog posts and this white rectangle. And we can see we have that same little overlap white rectangle on our blog, which Zoella loves using. Then on the Scout 16 blog, I realized they made a good use of the Instagram widget. So we brought that back to our blog, and we're going to use the Instagram widget. And the list really goes on and on. We can see on Pinch of Yum, one of the coolest food blogs on the internet that you should definitely check out. They do a lot of great things. We have the circle images, and on our blog, we're going to showcase some circle images too. If we click on the About page, we can see I'm going to show you how to make this awesome circular image, which looks like you're looking through a window. So I hope you can check out all those blogs too when you need a nice dose of inspiration and get inspired just like I did. So the third thing that you guys told me when I asked on social media is that you want to make sure your blog can go somewhere. That's why I'm going to show you how to set up Google Analytics software with your blog so you can check out how many page views you're getting every morning when you drink your coffee, or you can click on behavior, for example, and then click site content, click all pages, and see which blog post or page is doing the best out of all your content. And we're going to make sure we have an email list set up from the start so you can collect email subscribers and grow your email marketing list, and ads set up from the start so that you can make sure to earn a living on your blog. There's no reason over time and with a lot of hard work that you can't earn anywhere from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 a month on your blog if you do this all the right way. I kid you not, use those comments below for any blogging questions you have, whether it's something small like what your next blog post should be about, or bigger like your whole blog broke. If you post a comment, you'll learn from other people involved in blogging. I really wish I had that resource when I started blogging long ago. It might seem really hard at first, or impossible, or scary, but that's why I'm here. But that's not all. The blog you're going to get also comes with a complete online store, e-commerce, I just like calling it a shop, where you can sell any products you want, like your own arts and crafts, or in this case, some food. And customers can complete real transactions with their credit card, with their debit card, with their PayPal, and you receive the money all very effortlessly. You can even sell downloadable goods like ebooks or music and files. And it's just nice to be able to provide that online store experience with the blog so you can write about your products and then link to them in the store where you sell your products. Also, the blog we're going to make today is going to be 100% mobile friendly responsive so that when I pull the screen inwards, we can see how the entire layout responds to the size of our device that we're simulating. So we're like on a tablet here, tablet size device, pretty cool. You get the home page and the featured boxes and the blog post, everything looks good. And then as you go even smaller, you can see the layout on like a BlackBerry or an Android, Nokia, or the iPhone would be right about this size. So you can publish a blog post and share it on Facebook and then go out and live your life while your audience consumes it from their phones and their iPads and their devices. And the whole process looks good for everyone. All right, so now we're going to jump back in time to before this blog was ever made. I'm coming home from vacation with Michelle, and we're really excited to make this blog. All right, so let's do it so that we can make this entire blog together. Last year we were making a blog from Vermont, if you were with us for that. But if not, no worries, because this video is going to cover everything Can't wait to get started and show you how to create an amazing blog. And I'm racing back to the city right now to start building. All right, so stick with us and let's check it out. Let's do it. When we start out to create a blog about any topic, there are a million distractions that can pop up. It's hard to actually start building, even if you know you should, because you have so many ideas, and it oftentimes ends up just looking like this. I'm here to help you complete a real blog because I want you to enjoy all the benefits of blogging right now. So I made you guys what we're going to call a blogging scorecard, and it's right here on my desktop right now. Let me open it up for you guys. And here it is. So this is a totally brand new feature for our video tutorials, and it's really simple, but I think it could also be really powerful because if you use it, you'll always know what step comes next on your way to making an amazing blog. For example, we've already done the website tour, and we can click that box and check it off. We've already seen inspirational blogs, so we can check that off too. And now we just need to download and print the scorecard. To do that, just open up the part of the video that says show more right beneath it, and there'll be a link that says download the blogging scorecard here. So click that link, and then you're going to get this page right here, and you can either click the arrow in the upper right and then click save, or you can click file save page as, and you'll get the exact same scorecard. So when we click save, the scorecard will now download to your computer, and all you need to do is go to where your downloads are located. In my case, it's the downloads folder, and just open up the copy right here. So once you open it, you'll be able to use the scorecard. There are about 30 steps on our blogging scorecard which you need to complete in order to create a blog today. But my target goal for you right now is just step number 6, which is install WordPress right here. I know that from my analytics, only about 7% of people complete my entire tutorials, but if you can at least get to install WordPress and get that done, then you'll have the exact same blogging tools and software used by all the blogs we saw, like Star Wars and Marzia and Zoella and so on and so forth in the inspiration blog section. And you'll have all those tools to do whatever you want online. I had to specify that it's WordPress.org we're installing here because we can't actually use WordPress.com. WordPress.com doesn't let us post advertisements, which we want to do to earn some income. They don't let us have our own domain name, and they don't let us own the whole blog. So when you use a WordPress.com blog, you don't own it. But when you use the WordPress.org software like we're going to do, you own it 100%. It's a really great accomplished feeling when you install your own copy of WordPress.org, and I want everyone to have that feeling because it's the best software on the internet. So we can check off this third step now, which is done. And by the way, you can also click the links to each step, and they'll open up the video at that exact moment in the video. You can also convert the PDF to a Word document and write in your own notes, or print it off manually and just scribble down with the pencil or pen. It's all yours. You can do whatever you want with it. And we're almost ready to begin. I just want to explain to you quickly how the hosting and domain name section and the install WordPress section are going to work, because they're actually all done at the same place. Fortunately, we can do those all at a website called hostgator.com. So I'm going to show you that right now and just give you an introduction to them. It's hostgator.com, and then just hit enter. So HostGator is my favorite website host, and I've used them all the way since I moved from Blogger to WordPress. And I think this was back in about 2011, so 6 years ago. Yep, I would have been just 23 at that point out in San Francisco. And HostGator helped me through all that. It was like a big headache moving from Blogger. And, you know, if you're just making a blog from scratch, you will have a much easier time. But the point is that they will walk you through any sort of scenario to make sure you get the best blog possible. And that's one of the reasons I really like HostGator. It's just their support and the fact that they're always with you. If you ever need any help, just scroll all the way to the top on their website and click support. And then you're going to get a bunch of support articles. But what you want to do is click start a live chat. And you can just punch in your details, and one of their like real support people will come and sit down with you as long as it takes in this little chat window, and you'll know their name and you can talk to them. You can ask them whatever you want. So I still use that all the time. Another reason I like HostGator is just that their prices are downright competitive. Some web hosts will charge you a lot and not give you a ton, but HostGator, they charge you a little bit and they give you a ton, all these features. But why do we even need a web host in the first place? Why can't we do all of this for free? That's because every WordPress blog needs the hosting and the domain name so that people can find them on the web and that you can have an entire audience all around the world. The hosting part of it is like some space. It's like a plot of land that you would build your house on. So if you're going to go out and build a house, you obviously aren't going to choose just any old field, even if it might look kind of attractive to you. You're going to choose a good field in a good neighborhood, somewhere where you actually want to be a lot of the time. So the hosting is the space. It's like a plot of land. And if you build a house, your house is also going to need an address, which is your domain name. Your domain name is the address. And it's an address in the sense that people will open up their web browsers and they'll type in your address to go and visit your blog, just like they would type in google.com to visit Google. They'll type in your.com to visit your site, or you type in twitter.com to visit, Twitter. One of my blogs is called Dear Blogger, and I got the domain name dearblogger.org, and you can type that in to visit my blog. So it doesn't matter if you get a .com, a .org, a .net, or anything like that, just so long as it matches your brand, and just so long as your website name is equal to your domain name. So if you create a site called like Jim's Plumbing, you should get jimsplumbing.com or jimsplumbing.org or jimsplumbing.net. You want the website name that people call your website as to be the same as your domain name. And side note, the .com is the most valuable and most recognizable. So if you ever want to sell your domain name, people are going to pay you the most for a .com. So try to get that .com. Once you have the hosting and the domain name, we can install WordPress onto them. And I'm just going to call it WordPress from now on. We install WordPress with a simple process called a one-click installer. So in the olden days, you had to know like database stuff and code to install WordPress. But nowadays, with HostGator, all you do is just click one button and they put WordPress, your own copy of WordPress, onto your domain name and hosting for you. And then you just log in through that screen we saw earlier in the video, and you just run your blog, just from the comfort of home. You don't need to do any coding or technology stuff. It's really just the setup part, which we're going to go through right now, which is considered the quote-unquote techie stuff. And it's not technical at all. It's really easy. So of course you're wondering what all this costs. How much moolah, greenbacks, cash money, dough do we have to shell out to make an amazing blog? Well, a domain name will cost us $15 a year. That's an annual cost. And web hosting or self-hosting or whatever you want to call it, they're all the same thing, will cost us $10 a month. That's a monthly cost. However, I'm going to show us how to use a coupon to get both of these two things down to under $10 a month, which I think is a great deal to run a blog with a global audience on the best software on the planet, where, by the way, you can blog for a living by means of Google advertising, private advertising, paid posts, affiliate marketing, or anything else I've tried doing, which, by the way, I'm more than happy to show you how to do too. Once you have these two things, you can install WordPress, and despite what you might have heard, WordPress is entirely free to install and use. The domain name and hosting are the only two things you need to pay for to run a complete blog. I'm also going to show you how to install and set up a premium theme down here in Create Your Blog, which means that we'll be using a theme and a look that's perhaps more professional than other blogs from the start, because I want your blog to look amazing for the very first reader and wow people. The premium theme I'll show you how to use is called Laurel. It's one of my favorites. It's incredibly new and hard to find. It's known for being elegant, crisp, modern, and having an 100% responsive mobile-friendly design. And Laurel costs $49, which is $10 less than the standard theme on Theme Forest. Laurel is made by Solo Pine Designs. I hope you love it. And I'll also show you how to recommend Laurel to your audience with your own custom referral link so that you can earn some of the money back and then some that you spend buying this theme, if you choose to do so. So like I said before, not everyone completes this whole tutorial on average. It's usually about 7% of people, but I hope that includes you. With that said, it's time to go ahead and start the process of getting our domain name, hosting, and installing WordPress. So let's open up our internet browsers together and visit hostgator.com where we are already. If you want to use a different host than HostGator, that's totally fine. The steps should be roughly the same. Just keep in mind there's a lot of hosts out there that tell you they'll give you one thing and then give you something totally different. I've tried at least a few hosts for other projects with private clients where they look great up front, and then when I start using them, they make it really difficult to make a blog or a website or do things I would imagine would be easy. So once you're here on HostGator's homepage, just come up and click where it says web hosting. You don't want to click cloud hosting, WordPress hosting, reseller, VPS, dedicated, or anything else. We just want to click on the simple web hosting option, and that's also what you'll get if you click get started now. Those will take you to the same place. So just click on web hosting, and when you click that button, it'll take us to HostGator's powerful web hosting page, where we can see the exact same options I looked at when I signed up so many years ago. And what we want to focus on are just the hatchling plan and the baby plan, these two options. We don't need the business plan because that's just too many features for us right now, and we're trying to do this at the end of the day on a budget. So when I first signed up, I picked hatchling plan because I only wanted to work with one domain and host one domain. And I could have gotten baby plan though, because that's what I use now. And I host unlimited domains like my blog, my mom's blog, a few clients' blogs, the blog we're going to make today, all sorts of stuff like that. So if you know or envision yourself hosting a lot of websites or becoming like a massive web developer with your own empire in the future, the baby plan is a good option. But for now, we just want to set up one domain. So we're going to choose the cheapest option, which is the hatchling plan. This really is the cheapest option out of all the options here, and it works perfectly. It works great, and I still run hatchling plans myself. So most people would just choose a plan now and click sign up now and go on with their lives. But what we're going to try instead is seeing if we can get a better discount by visiting my custom landing page, my private landing page at HostGator. So it's just hostgator.com/Greg. And where you see these discounts that HostGator is just offering because they're nice people, like 43% off, 40% off, 60% off, even though we're not doing the business plan. Where you see these discounts, we're going to try to increase that number and get a better discount. All right. So if you want, follow me right now to hostgator.com/Greg, and we'll see if we can get this blue bar number up. It might not be a blue bar. I'm not sure if their design will change because they're always updating it based on the season. But anyways, come to the top, and where it says web hosting, just delete that part and write in GREG and hit enter. And you'll be taken to my landing page, and voila, there's a nice new discount here, which is 57% on the hatchling plan we're going to go with, or 50% off on your baby plans. So that's really cool. Congrats, we got an increased discount, and because the discount's working, we're going to move forward quickly, and we're going to sign up right now and get the discount. All right, so these are the exact same hatchling and baby plans you get from HostGator, the exact same web hosting product. Only difference is we get a better discount now. So let's go ahead and click buy now. All right, so in step 1, choose a domain. Either register a new domain or click I already own this domain and write in your domain name from GoDaddy or somewhere else, and then proceed and complete your hosting order, after which I'll show you how to connect the hosting to the domain name. All right, that's what you do if you already own a domain name you want to use. But in our case, I want to register a new domain name. And because I couldn't really think of something clever like Google or Facebook or Twitter right now, I'm just going to go with myname.com, gregnarayan.com. And when I was searching on HostGator earlier, I realized that that was actually available. And it wasn't when I checked about a month ago. So got kind of lucky. It's a good time to do this, and I obviously want to get through this process quickly so that no one else can steal my name. All right, but remember what I said about the keywords. If you can't get your name or the word you want, just write in one additional keyword after it, and you'll likely be able to find that as available. All right, and go for the .com. Once you have your domain name entered perfectly, we're just going to choose one of them and come down and uncheck domain privacy protection. I don't think we need that right now, but we can add it later. if you want. In step 2, it's time to choose a hosting plan. So we know that we want Hatchling. That's great. And then for billing cycle, I'm just going to change it from 36 months to 1 month, just because I don't like getting locked in. But I know that a lot of people like choosing 12 months or something like that. So next we want to enter in a username. All lowercase, start with the letter, 2 to 12 characters long. Just go with something that you like using, and this will be what you use to log into HostGator. So make it something you like. Then we need a security pin, 4 to 8 characters long with only numbers. So why not something simple, because we'll need this if we ever, for whatever reason, get locked out of our hosting account, which won't happen, but just write those 2 things down somewhere safe. In step 3, enter your billing info. I'm going to do this all really quickly now so we can get on with it and that no one can steal my credit card info. Alright, and you could also pay with PayPal if that's more convenient, but we're going to pay with credit card, and I hope you don't take offense that I blanked out that information. One time I just went through with a tutorial with all the credit card information out there, and then I woke up to like 50 emails from YouTubers saying that they, saw my credit card info, and I'm not using that card anymore, but you guys are all really nice people. I appreciate it. In step 4, we're just going to uncheck additional services. If you want more info, feel free to ask in the comments, or about anything, but I just don't think we need to spend money on all this now. It doesn't really fit our budget, but you could later on if you want. And in step 5, enter a coupon code. Alright, so this part's important. Make sure you already have big bonus entered right here and click validate. Alright, and we can see it already validated, but of course clicking again doesn't hurt. This just makes sure that you get the largest possible discount at HostGator and save the most money. It's really important that you save money so you can use it on other aspects of making your website, launching your business, making your blog, promotion. If you use this coupon as well as my custom landing page link to sign up to HostGator, I earn a small credit for referring you to their services, which doesn't come at any additional cost to you, and it's really cool because that helps me keep making these videos for everyone and keep helping you out for free on YouTube and everywhere else on the web where we use WordPress. Alright, with all that said, it's time to come down and review order details in step 6. We get the 24/7 365 phone live chat email support for free. Instant account activation, which will happen once we click checkout now, is free. Money back guarantee for 45 days. Domain registration for 1 year. We got it down from $15 to $5.99 as we said. Hatchling plan of 1 month, got it down from $10.95 to $5.47, which is great. And then these 2 green numbers here, where my mouse is, combine to make this red amount due total. The green discount is the difference between these 2 numbers and these 2 numbers. And the black subtotal is just the 15 plus the $10.95. Alright, so it's a little confusing that the discount is green, but just keep your eyes on the 11.46 here on my screen. If it says that on your screen, you're good to go, and if it's a few cents lower or higher, then you're good to go as well. Let me know any questions. Alright, and then come on down, and once you're feeling good to go, I know I'm feeling good to go, check this box that says you've read their terms of service and so on. And now it's time to click checkout now, finally. Congratulations and welcome to the HostGator family. So HostGator is setting up your account for you, and I just clicked on the hosting tab at the top, which you can do too. I always do that because I'm so excited to get going. But if you don't see this screen, which has all of our options to proceed and install WordPress, then just wait up to 2 more minutes, and you can also try clicking my account. So HostGator is just building everything for you if it's not ready yet. But it should be ready in a maximum of 5 minutes. And on my account, you can see like what plan you got and when your next payment is do, and then pay packages. This is like more information about your hatchling plan, which could come in handy later so you know where it is. But we want to click on hosting right now. And it's going to show your domain name that you registered right here at the top. So that's pretty cool. In my older tutorials from last year, we used to use 2 emails to proceed and install WordPress. So you want to keep this window here open, this HostGator customer portal, but we can also check out our email. And we get 2 emails. So the one from billing right here will help you get back to the HostGator customer portal. If you close this window by accident, you can just come into this email and click on the portal link and then log in with this email and password, and it'll get you back to the area right here, and you can click hosting and proceed. And then the other email from no reply says your account info. This one gets you into your cPanel at HostGator, which you may want to use in the future, you may not. cPanel is the older way of installing WordPress, and it was still really easy, just a couple clicks. This is how we did it in the older videos. We would just click the Your Control Panel link and then log in with your username and the password that HostGator gives you right here. So definitely keep these 2 emails for future reference, and definitely try to keep this window open. But if you close it, you can get to this place through the billing email right here. Okay, so now that we're in hosting, we can proceed and do this all the most updated way, of course. Your screen should look exactly like this, except for a different domain name right here where it says hosting account. So your domain name is sort of the name tag of your account. HostGator understands what to do and what all these services should do for you based on what domain name you have here. So as you grow your websites, you might have more domains, and you can just choose different ones here to do different sorts of activities. Speaking of your new domain name, if we try to visit it right now to see if it's working, you're going to see this screen that says you're almost done and something like please configure your name servers. You're going to see the name server screen. So what that means you need to do is go back to the HostGator customer portal and then click on domains. All right, and I just need to do that little fly-in screen for the name server page because I don't see it anymore because I've used the domain name for another previous YouTube tutorial. But the first time I checked it out, I did see the name server screen. Anyways, when you're here, you need to click on the gear right by your domain name over here. And then where it says name servers, you want to click change. And that's because you need to make sure these 2 name servers, 1 and 2, are exactly the same as the name servers in your HostGator emails. And you can find those by going to the no reply hostgator.com your account info email. Just open that up and you'll see first name server and second name server. So all you need to do is just copy the first one, come back to HostGator, click change, and then paste that in where it says name server 1. All right, so we can see I've already done that. We can do it again anyways. Just paste it over. And we can do the same thing for name server 2. All right, just come back to your HostGator email, copy the second name server, make sure you don't get any spaces, and bring it back to your HostGator customer portal and right click, paste. All right, perfect. So your numbers will look a little bit different depending on the slice of the large hosting world where your blog is living. But as long as you do it like I just did, you'll be fine. Make sure you get the name server 1 and name server 2, just like from the your account info email where it says first name server and second name server. And if you want to write them in by hand, that's fine too. All right, so then when we save name servers, it'll show up green because we did it right. And now once it's done, your domain name will be perfectly connected to your hosting. All right, and it's called pointing your domain name at your hosting too. Either way, things should be working perfectly. You can close this gear section, and then when you go and check out your domain name and hit refresh, you should see this new screen that says HostGator getting started. And that means it's time to proceed and reach our goal of installing WordPress. So great job. All right, let's click back to hosting. We can open up our scorecard and cross off choose a domain name and get hosting. Those are 2 of the most massive steps in making a blog. So congrats on being done with those. And we're now ready to reach our goal and install WordPress.org. All right, so to install WordPress, just come to the hosting tab, come on down, and where it says Launch Quick Install, just click on that button, Launch Quick Install. All right, very good. You're in the same place where millions of people have installed WordPress before. And we want to click on this black and blue WordPress tab right here. All right, and now we're in WordPress. So what we want to do is select our domain name. Just click the drop down and select your domain name. Leave the directory box blank. Don't write anything right here. And just click Next. All right, now it's time to enter in some details about our blog to, have it ready when we log in. So we want to write a blog title, and I'm going to make my blog title the same as my domain name, just Greg Narayan. So blog title, website name, domain name, those should all be the same thing, and you don't need to put the .com here. And then for admin user, try to pick something serious. This will be what you use to log into WordPress every time. So I've used like joke names before, and it just gets annoying seeing that old joke I made. So keep that one professional. You cannot change it later, although you can change this other stuff like first name, last name, blog title. You cannot change admin user. So make it good. And then first name, of course, last name, and admin email, where WordPress will send our login information. All right, so once your screen looks just like mine, except for with your info, come on down and check this box. The Install Now button will light up, and we're now gonna use the famous one-click WordPress installer you might have heard of, or I might have told you too much about. Either way, it's pretty cool that we all get to be a part of this amazing piece of technology. All right, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's click Install Now and install WordPress. All right, so that was quick, and HostGator just did all the techie stuff for us. So it was really easy, just like we said it would be. If you see the green check, installation complete, it means that WordPress is installed perfectly. Leave this window open, don't touch anything. If you see a red X, then post a comment for me and I'll help out. And if you see a yellow circle, then what the heck computer are you using? So at the moment, the most important thing to do is to copy down our installation details. All right, don't click this link right here because it's gonna take you away from this page, and we want this page a little bit longer, just like this, to celebrate the installation complete. All right, so we're gonna copy this installation details. I'm just clicking and dragging with my mouse. Do that if you can, and then right click, copy. And then I'm just gonna open up like a text edit file, but maybe you have like a note file or a Word doc, whatever you like using, and just right click, paste that in there. So you always have your installation details if you lose this page. All right, next, so we're done celebrating now. We're gonna get down to business. I want us to open up our scorecard and check off our goal, because that always feels good to mark off a goal right away. We've installed WordPress.org successfully. Great job. Boom, done and done. Now it's time to change our password. And the easiest way to do that is I've found in My Installs. So if you just click My Installs in the upper right, click that, then you'll see the domain name you chose, and it should just show up once. Mine shows up 3 times because I've done this tutorial 3 times to get this step perfect for you guys. So just picture that it says it 1 time. And now we're gonna come down to your domain name and click Reset Password. So just click that, and I'm just gonna do the bottom one. And then select your user, and there you go. And then just write in a new password that you're gonna wanna use to log into WordPress. And update password. Update password. Very good. All right. You can click that button twice if you want. And now where it says admin login, just click that link. Click admin login. All right, so your WordPress is working if you get this login screen. And we're excited to get started, but let's make sure to check off our change password step. We're done with that. Very good. And now we can log into WordPress using that password that you just set up in Quick Install when you change password. I like clicking Remember Me, and I also like bookmarking this page in the upper right. Depending on whatever browser you're using, use the bookmark feature so that you can find this link in the future and you won't have to type it in. If you do have to type in the login link to get to this screen, it's just yourdomainname.com, for example, gregnarayan.com /wp-admin. That's how you would get to that page manually. All right, so your domain name, whatever it is, .net, .org, whatever you chose, /wp-admin. And then you could click enter and it would take you to this screen right here. That's how to do it. All right, but bookmarking makes it a little bit easier. I want to save you as many steps and make this as headache-free as possible. All right, so let's click login. Drum roll. And welcome to WordPress for the very first time, if that's the case. I've already used WordPress a bunch of times, but for you, welcome. And I'm going to take you on a little WordPress tour now so that this all doesn't look, confusing and it actually looks a little bit familiar. So we're going to click I don't need help because you have me at the top. And now we're just going to close some of the notifications. All right, so we don't want opt-in monster there. This is just the standard welcome to WordPress message right here with some next step links and more actions. And we're going to do all of these steps eventually, but we've picked an order that is the most user-friendly. All right, so there's no need to just click around. Next, what we want to do is where it says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch, click here. We want to get rid of that coming soon page, and I'll show you what it looks like. It looks just like this to anyone who's not logged into your site. And we want to remove it because it just doesn't match our branding. Our site's not going to be bright green and black. It doesn't fit the overall theme of our site. And also, if you tell someone, oh, hey, Tim, can you come and check out my site from your computer? I want you to see if the logo looks good or the width looks good or something. Or, hey, Mary, can you make sure that everything is looking all right for launch? They're just going to see this if they're not logged in, and they're going to be like, what are you talking about? So we're going to remove this page right now. Close that window, and we're just going to click here to remove the coming soon page, which I think is really helpful. And if you're worried about not having your site ready, then just go ahead and complete the tutorial and you'll definitely have a blog that's ready. Good job. Congratulations, your site is now live. We can click here to view it. And when you do that, this will just show the home page of your new site or new blog, we should call it. All right, so this is running the 2016 theme. What does that mean? What does a theme mean? Well, to figure that out, we can click on our name or our site name in the upper left, which will take us back to the dashboard where we edit our site. So no one sees this, only you do. Or we could click the name again to take us to the home page, which everyone sees, including you. This is your blog front page, home page. We can click that again. And so that's just how it works. That's how you get to the editing area in WordPress. You click in the upper left. I'm going to close some tabs here so it's nice and simple. And to decide what theme our site is using, we can come down and click Appearance. And we see that the active theme is 2016. If we click that, it'll tell us about the 2016 theme made by the WordPress team, which is just a default layout or template. Those words are all the same thing that decides how our site looks. And how our site looks is, of course, displayed right here when we click to the home page. All right, so let's click back. So I'm going to show you how to change the theme in a second, but we're going to complete our tour now. I want to take you now to posts. If you click posts, you'll see you have one sample post by WordPress. And if you click the link, you can edit it and you can just publish. And this is what it'll look like when you're writing a new post. All right, so if you wanted to write a totally new one, you can just click add new right at the top. And that way you could just start blogging right away if you really had a post that needed to get out there to the world. And you can try the different settings and play around. It doesn't matter if you make any mistakes. You can always just delete a post and start over or edit it. And WordPress saves all your edits right here. You can also go to pages, which is where you make what are called static pages for your site. So those go in your navigation menu, like about, contact, work with us, services. If you click add new, the screen for pages is a lot like posts. They just show up in different places around your site. And as you blog more, you'll get used to where everything shows up. We can also click media. This is where all your images will be stored, all right? Or if you upload a PDF or something like that, it'll be stored here. All your photos will go here. If you click comments, that's where all your new comments will come in. And WordPress has this really cute introductory comment. So that's awesome. You should definitely get a gravatar, by the way. That's easy to set up too. It's just like a profile picture. So this little squirrel Pikachu guy is a gravatar. And you should make one of those for yourself at gravatar.com. All right, so now we're actually going to go to plugins. Plugins just help you do more with WordPress, and we're going to edit them and clean them up in a second. Like WordPress, for example, doesn't know out of the box that you would want to have Facebook like buttons or Twitter buttons or create image sliders. And so we use plugins to do things like that. All I usually do is just Google plugin for blank in WordPress. And if someone's made it, it'll come up. You can use it. It's free. That's amazing. That's one of the biggest benefits of the WordPress community. If you click users, that's where you live, and that's where other authors or writers would live, and you can add more people to create a multi-author blog, all using users. And then if you click settings, this is the final really important area. In this section, you can change your site title. So let's open up our site in a new tab by right-clicking on the upper left, open link in new tab. And we can see that this is our home page. And if we wanted to make a really basic change, your first change ever, you could just change the site title to your name like that. And then maybe you want to say just another amazing WordPress site. So that's pretty cool. Or maybe you want to say awesome. I think I like that word more. And then you can come down and save those changes. I wouldn't change too many of the other settings until you're comfortable with what you're doing, or you can definitely ask us in the comments because we've all done that already. And then come to your blog and refresh to see your changes. Just refresh button, and we can see we made our first edit. So it really works. You can really change the web, and you can really, update a blog. You're doing it. Congratulations. It's actually happening. You just changed the site title and the tagline. Some pretty professional, household features that every blog has. All right, so I said that settings were the last important part of our tour, but actually within settings, there's one more place I want you to go right now. All right, you could go to writing, reading, those are all really important too, but I want to go to permalinks. All right, and when you're in permalinks, this decides how your blog post's links look. So if you're on your homepage and if you click the hello world, it's going to take you to our blog post. And there's one problem which stands out to me, having made a lot of blogs, and that's that in the link to the post, we have index.php and the date. And we don't want any of that. We just want words up here because Google analyzes these links and it decides how they rank in Google. And if you have complicated stuff, it makes it difficult to rank them. And we want your post to rank really well in Google with just keywords like this, not with random information like this. All right, what you want to do to change that is in permalinks, just check the post name option and click save. That's a really important step that a lot of people forget and a lot of tutorials forget right away. And so you do that and you click save changes. And then when you come back to your site, you can click on the post and it'll look nice and simple in Google's eyes with just those words, which are the title of the post. And that's just how we want it. If the post doesn't show up, try clicking your name to go back to your homepage and clicking the post again, and it will work. So great job, you just made our third change to the site. And as a bonus, your site is now SEO friendly for Google. So let's open up our scorecard and see how we're doing now. And in just a little bit of time, we've logged in, we've done the dashboard tour, and we've changed our permalinks, which is really cool. You're making great progress. Great job. Now it's time to learn about themes and install our theme. All right, so back to the dashboard right here, and let's click on appearance. So here we are in appearance themes. We don't want opt-in monster. Get out of here. All right. So as we saw before, the 2016 theme is active. But what does that mean? You know, what is a theme? What does that even mean? Well, if we view our site, the theme is everything about the site. It's the black borders around the edges. It's the white background. It's the way that the site title is in the upper left and the post is here and the sidebar has these black little separating lines. It's the fonts. It decides how our entire site looks. So it's really important. You can install any number of themes for free, and then you can try out different ones or activate new ones. To install a theme and activate it, by the way, you would have to be back in the dashboard and back in appearance themes. And if you click appearance once, it'll just take you there. It's the same as clicking on the themes button right here. Same place. So to install and activate a new one, and in other words, get a new theme, you would just go to this button on the right, which says add new theme. Click the big plus. And now you can search from like hundreds, maybe even thousands of free themes in WordPress. You see one you like, you can just click it. For example, I know that Pinnacle is a pretty good theme, and you click the blue install button right there. See, we're installing. Just an example, you don't have to install this one. And then you could click activate. Just activate it like that. All right, and then now when we look at our site, everything looks totally different right away. And because I'm like familiar with themes, I know that we can go back and go to themes again. And then we can just click on the theme we previously had, which was 2016. Open it up and then just activate this one to go back to normal, how we started. Then when we click to our site, everything looks normal. All right, so let's go back. And that was just an example. The problem is, as you saw when we looked at that theme, it didn't look very good. A lot of themes don't look very good right when you install them, and they're just not so great. It takes a lot of work and like a lot of effort to get them looking good. So we picked out a theme already that's gonna look a lot better. And we can see when we install the theme, we have it right here. You can open it up and you can click the red delete button to get rid of it. And it's all free, so you can like install a theme again and delete it and so on and so forth. Or you could have like 20 different themes sitting right here. It's not very good though to try out a lot of themes because your audience can get confused when they see too many looks. And like I said before, a lot of the free themes and stuff, they just aren't that good. To install and activate the theme we want to use for our tutorial today, you can once again click that show more button below the video. All right, so there we go. And then you can click where it says get the theme here. All right, and that link is going to take us to the Envato marketplace. So that is a referral link. Some people like knowing that, and I have to say that. So if you get loyal through my link, then Envato sends me a little credit just for referring you to their theme right here. It's a good way of giving back to the channel at no additional cost. And I'm going to show you how to set up your own custom link like that too, that you can put on your blog and recommend people to the theme you're using. It took me about a year of tinkering around with WordPress free themes before I found the Envato marketplace, also just called Envato Market, or Theme Forest it's also called. And now it's the first place I look at when I want to make a new website for anyone, because the themes are super tested by a lot of designers and they're like way above the other themes that I've seen. So if you can afford it, I'd say definitely do it. It's worth it to make people just say wow when they see your site for the first time. And also the price here is not that big of a deal. It can be a tax write-off for you. You can also refer people to your theme if they like your look, and Theme Forest will pay you a little bit of money if people end up buying the theme. I'll show you how to do that too. So once you're here and you want to read the designs and the reviews if you want, you can also look at other items by this author. There's like a lot of pretty themes, so it was tough to choose Laurel, but I ended up going with it because it has the most stuff that we want. Then once you're here, you can click add to cart. All right, and then just click go to checkout. And now we just need to create an account. I already have one, but I'll walk you through it. So, and then you just click next, and it's going to ask you a username and password. Click I'm not a robot, and then create account and continue. All right, and then after that, you're going to do billing details and select payment method, and you'll be all ready to buy the theme. All right, so here we are at the checkout screen, and we're ready to buy the Laurel theme. So once you're ready to buy the Laurel theme, just write in your credit card right here. And I'm so sorry, there's a $2 fee added to it. I'm going to have to yell at Envato for that. I don't know why that's even there, but our total is going to be $51. So looks like I'm really going to have to show you how to recommend it to others so you can earn your money back. All right, so now it's time to click make payment once you're ready. Once you complete your purchase, you'll be taken to a confirmation page, sort of like this one where I have all my stuff. And you can also get to this screen by hovering on your name in the upper right and clicking downloads. And what you want to do is click on the download button and then click installable WordPress file only. All right, so there's some information on like what to do with the theme, but we just want to get the installable file only so we can put it up on our blog. So click that, and then don't change the title. You don't need to. Just format, zip, archive, where probably your downloads, and click save. All right, now that we've downloaded our copy of Laurel, we can come back to the themes in our dashboard, and we can just click upload. All right, and now we can click upload theme. So it's going to tempt us with all these other free themes, but we're not going to fall for that because we already have one. And click upload theme, and now click choose file. And now we can go to the downloads folder or wherever you have your downloads and find the theme forest file, and you can either double click it or you can click open. So I'm going to select it and click open. Now, some people tell me this doesn't work, but just make sure you don't change the title of the file and that it's the .zip file. And that should work perfectly, all right? So click install now, and we'll see if it works. All right, theme installed successfully, great. Now make sure to click activate. And once we've done that, Laurel is active. You can click it and read all about it. I would encourage you to check out more on Solopine Designs as well. I've enjoyed everything I've learned about them. And we can click to the home page now and see what we made. So it looks like we have this beautiful template now for adding in our content. And that's the case, we do. All right, so next step is, well, whatever our blogging scorecard tells us. But we can open it up and say that we're now done learning what is a theme and installing the theme. Great job. All right, so next up, what are plugins and how do we install plugins? Well, we already talked about how plugins extend the functionality of WordPress. They help you do more on your site. And it's good that we just installed our theme because now we get this theme recommends the following plugins little notification, which is actually a good notification. All right, so once you go back to your dashboard and you see this, then click begin installing plugins. All right, and it's going to say we need 3 plugins right here, and we need a total of 6 plugins for our site to run just like we want, maybe more later as you build and grow in WordPress, but for now, just 6, and here's 3 of them. So what you want to do is check this box next to plugin to select them all, and then from bulk actions, choose install and click apply. All right, and WordPress is running the installer, and it worked, so let's click return to required plugins installer. And now let's just click activate, activate, and activate. And they're going to disappear from this screen. All right, so we're gonna find them now in plugins. Let's click on your plugins tab. And it might look like kind of a mess because there's some of the default plugins WordPress came with, but we're gonna clean it up, not to worry. We're gonna do it right now. All right, so what are we looking at here? Why don't we just go down the list? Akismet is WordPress's spam protector, and it's highly recommended and used by millions of people. So that means we want to use it too to make sure you don't get spam comments on your blog. So let's click activate. All right, and the goal is to have all the plugins we want in blue with this blue bar running all the way up and down. All right, and then we're going to come down and we see Hello Dolly. This is just a simple quote that comes in the upper right corner of our screen, which the founder of WordPress made, so it's kind of cute and cool. So let's activate it. And now we just see this cool little quote here. So if random quotes are your thing, then we can keep it. I just wanted to show you what it does. All right, moving down, Jetpack by WordPress.com. Don't need it, so deactivate, boom, and delete. There is no harm in deleting a plugin. It won't negatively affect your site, and you can always reactivate it for free. You just have to click Add New and then get it and install it again. But for now, we are sure we want to delete Jetpack, so click OK. All right, and the only reason a plugin would negatively affect your site if you deleted it is if you were using it in a lot of different places on your site, but we're not using Jetpack at all, so we can delete it. Now for Mojo Marketplace, again, here's one we're not using, we don't want, so deactivate and delete. Great job, and OK. Opt-in Monster, we're not using it, we don't need it, deactivate. Feels kind of good cleaning up the site, doesn't it? Delete. And OK. Great job. And we need one more plugin that the theme didn't come with. So I'll show you how to add a new plugin to your blog. At the top, click Add New. And now move your mouse to the right over here and just type in WP insert code with me. And we're going to get this plugin I really like using because it lets us connect code from Google Analytics and from Facebook really easily. We don't have to know any code. You just like paste it in here. So install this one. We're going to use this one later, but might as well get it now. And activate. All right, now our plugin section is looking great. We have 6 plugins and the blue bar spans all the way up and down. If you ever have an update notification for a plugin, it'll show up in red or orange. You want to do that right away so that your site stays secure and runs as fast as possible. We're all good to go with our 6 plugins installed and activated. Great work, and let's check it off. Now it's time to write your first blog post, and this should be really fun. I'm excited to show everyone how to do this. All right, so I hope we don't mess it up, but then again, blogging is totally trial and error, so it's okay if we mess it up. So follow me back to our dashboard, and we can click on Posts in the upper left. And if you want to just quickly add a new post, you can hover on New and click Post if you want, but we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. So once we're in Posts, we're going to click Trash on Hello World. Sorry about that. All right, there goes our cute little sample post. If you want to bring that back, though, it'll be in Trash, and you can just click Restore or delete permanently. All right, now we're going to click Add New to get started writing. All right, and your first post could be about anything you want. It's a good idea to write a welcome to the blog post, like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing differently, this is why I'm starting a blog. Sometimes we forget to answer the why question, and that can really help readers relate to you and like you from the start. So I recommend that. But in my case, I'm going to start with another thing I like a lot, which is brunch. So this post is just about one of the first things we did on our trip to Lake Placid. We had brunch at the Breakfast Club, etc. All right, so you put the title right here. This is what the post is called. And then the permalink fills in. And this permalink is also known as a URL or a link. It's the link to your post. So if you want to put it in an email, this is the link right here. And it's what will go up top once the post is live. All right, now we need to write the article itself. And you can either write your article in the visual tab, which I recommend, or the text tab, which is just like plain text right here. I recommend visual because you get all the Microsoft Word-esque editing tools like paragraph, bold, italics, list, numbers, quotes, alignment, and so on and so forth, which you've seen before. To get this second line here, which has like text color, all sorts of other stuff, you need to click the toggle toolbar if that's not shown. So keep that open. And now let's just get some text to work with. That's a big mouse. So I like going to a site called Pan Ipsum when I'm building a site, and it's just like nonsense. Pan Ipsum is just dummy text about anything, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or basketball terms or like minerals or vegetables. Anything like Beatles, SpongeBob, coffee. So I'm going to go with like a mixture of coffee and cooking and baking because I'm hungry at the moment, and click Generate Ipsum. and you get a whole bunch of just nonsense, just garble. So we can copy a paragraph, and this is really good for developers too, because we like just showing off text. We don't like thinking about what we write. We just like doing. So you can paste it in. Cool. And then you can also change up the way it looks by hitting enter. If you want to do a short space, like not a full space, just hold shift and hit enter like that. Or you can hit enter to do a full space. And then to start playing with the text, you can make some more spaces, highlight it. If you want to create like larger text, click paragraph and click something like heading 4. It'll be a little bit bigger. Or heading 2 would be even bigger. So in WordPress, they're called headings, and it's important to use headings. I usually do heading 2 for big points and heading 4 for little points, because Google reads the headings to know what your post is about. So try to put descriptive terms in those headings. All right, and then we could like have another one. So it's pretty cool, and we can even paste that text in again. All right, so I'm just showing you how to use like the nuts and bolts of a post editor here. You don't actually have to write in beans, drip, or latte, Mazargran. To make a list, you can open up some content and then just like kind of, dissect it a little, and then you can highlight everything and click bulleted list or numbered list. There you go. And you can also move around the alignment if you want. So that's pretty cool. So I think you can figure out the rest of that stuff. I'm going to move on now to showing you how to make a category, because categories go on the home page and they're going to go on our menus. So what you want to do is click add new category on the right. And once you do that, just make something really general like food and add new category. So categories are more general and they're like food, and tags are more specific in WordPress and they're like brownies, cookies, pizza, chicken. If you catch my drift, I'm like pretty hungry. All right, so we're gonna make this format a standard post. We're gonna make a gallery post later on with like a lot of images. But speaking of which, let's see how to add an image to this post. All right, so you would just put your mouse where you want the image. Like let's say I want the image right here, right by the word half. So put my mouse there and we click add media. And now we click select files. And we're gonna navigate to our desktop where I have some pre-made images. And we're gonna open up the create a blog folder. And I'm just gonna choose hopefully the one that's called brunch. If not, I'm gonna have to click spacebar to preview it. Okay, we're gonna grab image 7087. You can either double click or click open. I like open. And WordPress will upload your image very quickly. It's very quick now. Used to be slower. All right, and then you can get your attachment details on the right. So in this section, you can choose whether the image floats right, left, or center. You can choose whether it's linked to something if you want people to be able to click your image, but if not, just select none. And you can choose the size. So I really like a medium size for a blog post, and I like a left alignment for starters. And we can just click insert into post. And there you have it. There's our image. All right, so that's pretty cool. I'm not sure how this numbered part is going to look when we publish, but we'll see. And we can move on from that. And of course, you can add like 20 or 30 images if you want to your post. It just might take a little bit longer. So now we can go down and we're going to add one of the necessary features, which is called a featured image. It's so useful. I'm going to drag this box by clicking and holding. You should do it too, up towards the top. So let's do it. You set a featured image by clicking this link, and you can just choose any image, which represents the post, of course, and click set featured image. And then this is going to go in a huge location above the post, and it's also going to be the thumbnail on the home page. That's your featured image, is the thumbnail on the home page. Cool. Now we can go down to post settings, and we're going to choose how the post looks. So I think the default is going to look good. But if you want to change the layout, you can try these other ones and it'll move the content and the sidebar around. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go up, and I think we've done enough work on this post. Let's click the blue publish button to make it go live. And you can also use these buttons, like you can click edit on publish, and you can schedule it for a later date, which is kind of fun if you have like a ton of posts and content, but we just want to publish. So click publish. Cool. And now we're going to click view post, and we have our first blog post. All right. So very nice. Very good stuff, guys. All right. We just need to sort of move that little list right there because it gets in the way of the image. If we go to the home page, we're going to see the post right here in the front and center location. We're going to see a little bit about the post, like the title, the category, and the content. And you can click read more. So everything is working, and we're very happy. But I don't like how the list looks, and I'm going to edit post right now to change that. All right, let's edit that. And now I'm just going to click the image, and I'm going to remove it by hitting the X so that it's gone. And we're actually going to put that at the top. Let's see if it looks better. So if we put it by mountain, we can add media again, choose it. The settings are the same, just insert into post. Maybe that'll look better. And at the same time, I want to make sure that the wording for the post on the homepage is just a little bit of words and not like a random segment with ... So I'm going to choose just a few words right now from the start of the post, which would represent the post, like mountain, plunger, pumpkin spice. Perfect. Copy that text. And now we're going to click screen options in the upper right, and we're going to check excerpt. So once you do that, you're going to get a new window, close screen options. Come on down, and here's excerpt. So let's put our mouse here and let's paste in that text that we want and make it a perfect sentence. That's a good sentence, right? Mountain, plunger, pumpkin spice. All right. And now when we update the post, we'll see two things. So I'm going to click our name right here to get to the home page instead. And the first thing we'll see is the exact text we wanted right here in excerpt. So that's really cool. You can say whatever you want there. And we're also going to see when we click the image to get to the post that our image looks a lot better. All right, so now we have a nice working blog post. Great job. And we can open up our scorecard because we're now done with writing your first blog post. All right, so we're going to change it up in a second and upload images, then get back to posts. But of course, let me know any questions you have immediately on how to write a blog post in WordPress, and hopefully we can get your posts looking perfectly. Now we're just going to upload a bunch of images to the blog to save us some time when we want to play around with images in a little bit, and so that we don't have to just look at this photo of my brunch. And I'm going to show you 3 best ways to add images to your blog. The first one is to take some photos with your smartphone and then just plug your phone into your computer. All right, I don't know if you heard that. I just plugged my phone in, and because I use a Mac, everything pops up right away. But if you use an Android or a different kind of smartphone, then just use whatever photo app is the default one. Should work fine. So you plug it in, and you can go to the import section, and it'll read your photos, and then you can find a photo like sure, this one of the horses is good, and then you just click it, or you can like drag and select more photos, or you can hit Command A and do all the photos. It'll just take longer. So I'm just going to select one photo and click import one selected, and it will come in right away. And then the next best thing to do is really old-fashioned. Just click it and hold it, and I'm going to drag to the desktop. And then once it's on the desktop, and you do that a few times, you'll have a whole folder like I made right here. So you can always just right click, new folder, blog photos, and then put your photos in that folder. All right, and then you can make a whole section for your blog. So you don't have to do this. I just like making a folder for every blog, because as you make more blogs, then you know where all the right images are. We're going to upload all these photos to our WordPress, of course, but you don't have these photos, of course, so I want to show you the second way to get photos, and that's going to be to use a tool called PicMonkey. All right, so let's say you have a photo like the one we just took in blog photos of this nice horse carriage, but you want it to look different, like you want the colors to pop out more, or the carriage to look brighter, or the horses to look prettier, even though they're beautiful right now. So you can use the go-to tool I use for all my website and blog photos called PicMonkey. To get your copy of PicMonkey, just click the Show More box below the video again, and then click on the link where it says Get Free Trial of PicMonkey here. And that is another referral link. So if you're worried about all the referral links, then just know that when you start a blog, you'll totally see that it pays to insert referral links wherever you can. I like helping you guys for free, of course, but if we don't insert the referral links, then we're sort of doing all of this totally for free, and time is money. So, it just makes sense as part of the blogging business to at least try putting in the referral links. And thanks so much if you use this or any other ones, or if not, then no worries. I'm still here to help out as well. So we're going to start the free trial of PicMonkey. Click that button in the middle. Then you can either sign up with Facebook or use the email password option, and I'm not a robot. Check that, verify, and then just click the Crown Me box right there. It's really hard to make images for a new blog that stand out. If you have to use Photoshop or wait for a designer, it can take forever. But with PicMonkey, you can do all this in a super easy editor. And a lot of the images you see on blogs like Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Zoella, Star Wars, Forbes, New Yorker, all of those, I bet a lot of those were made with PicMonkey. Alright, so I'm logged in now, and the first step I always do is just click Edit a Pic right here. And next we click Open. So this is just like a default image you could play around with. And then I click My Computer, and then I'm going to go Desktop, Blog Photos, and grab the image that we took from my smartphone right there and just click Open. Alrighty then, and now on the left we have our toolbar. So we have a lot of cool things we can do, but I just like starting in colors, sharpen, resize, exposure in this like basic window right here, which is on the top button. See the little arrow. So for starters, how about exposure? We can just click auto adjust and the image should get a little bit sharper. All right, we can click apply and that's done. We can also do colors, auto adjust. So you can see the colors got a little bit sharper. You can also cancel if you want, but I like how the colors took that like sort of orange light away from it. Apply and then sharpen, and we can work on the sharpness as well. Like we can make it way sharper so the little details on the horse pop out. I usually like going somewhere in like the 75% range, and same for clarity. Sometimes it's too much. Clarity, I like going for more like a 25% improvement. All right, and apply. And now we can go back to colors, and I want to show you how to mess with the saturation. We can just like make the saturation higher and you'll get more reds and more blues, or lower and you'll get a black and white photo. So for this one, we're going to go a little higher. I want that red to pop and the blue mountains to look like the Rockies, even though they're just in New York. And then temperature, you can turn up the temperature. Maybe it's a sunnier day. Maybe you want to go for colder weather, it would be blue. In this case, it was definitely a cold day, and I think the blue makes a lot more sense there. Again, we're going for images that pop and make an impact on our readers. All right, so whatever suits your fancy. We're going to go with a -40 on temperature, make it look colder, and apply. For exposure, that can also be changed. This is sort of like the motherboard of controls. Brightness, that one's obvious. Highlights, shadows, and contrast. But I think our image looks good without those, so I'm just going to cancel those effects. I also love the crop tool if you need your image to fit a certain part of your blog, or maybe you're making a thumbnail for a different site. Just click crop and you can set up the size right here, like 1280 and 720 for a YouTube thumbnail, and then you just need to choose the best part of the image. That's great. Then of course you can click apply. We can also click on the T to add text on top of our image. It's super easy to do. Just select your font, click add text, and now here we are just typing. There we go, and you can click and drag. That's very easy, and change the color. Click and drag on the right, and you can drag to resize as well. So this is all just a lot of fun. And the last feature I just discovered was when you click on the butterfly, they have symbols that can go on top of our picture, such as something I always need for my tutorials, arrows. We can click arrows and then grab one of these cool hand-drawn looking arrows, pull it over to the image, and then we can click the top little circle and drag, rotate, and of course, there you have a horse. All right, so we're gonna undo a couple of those, and then we're just gonna save and take our image to the blog. Once your image is ready, click Save. File name is important so we can find it later. Horse carriage edit. I always choose PNG, which is the highest quality, and then keep the same dimensions. That'll be no problem for WordPress to handle, and save to my computer. And save. If that's not enough, the third way to get great images for your blog is to use Pixabay. Just type in pixabay.com and hit enter. Pixabay offers free high quality images, and I love searching for really simple pictures like mountain. Then once you find one you like, you can click the mountain, and you can also click on the categories to get even more specific. Alpine. Images from Pixabay are 100% free. You just click them and then click free download, choose the size, click download, and then save them. And you do need to go through like a CAPTCHA, I think, unless you sign in. So if you sign up for a free account, then everything's free. So now that we've covered all that, let's actually upload the images to our blogs. All right, here we are back on the home page, and our new post is looking a little bit weirder now that we've had to stare at that food for even longer. So let's go to the dashboard. Very cool. And then we can click on media. And then we can just click add new, and I'm going to show you how to bulk upload images if you have like 3, 4, 10, 20 images that are ready. Click select files. Now we're going to go to our desktop and get the Create a Blog 2017 images that I picked out for the tutorial. All right, you could just choose one, but to bulk upload, I'm going to hit Command A to highlight all, or Control A if you're on a PC, and click Open. All right, and while WordPress is doing the bulk upload, we can also do other things. For example, you can open your blog up in another window, and you could start writing a new post. So let's get our scorecard out and see what comes next. All right, we're done uploading images because those are just gonna take care of themselves. And next is add more blog posts. Perfect. So let's come back to new post. Click on post for the quick way to add a new blog post. And I'm going to walk you through how to add another blog post just so we're all on the same page, literally and metaphorically, in terms of how to use the post editor features in case you missed it before. It's good to keep our images open in another tab because they're still working, and then we can add new posts in this separate tab. So this post is going to be called Driving 5 hours from NYC for anyone who wants to go our same route. After the title, I like starting with the image because the image on the post, or the featured image that people see first, will sort of set the mood and help me know what I want to say when I write the post. So our image is ready. It's this one right here that we took. Just a little dorky selfie, and we'll set featured image. For our body text, I have some panipsum on coffee because we needed a lot of coffee to get through the drive. And we can see how the text looks different if it's in the visual and the text tab. Just keep that in mind. If you're ever pasting in code that you get from another website onto your blog, make sure to paste it into the text tab. All right, but visual is the best for editing. We're not going to style this post very much because it's going to be a video post, and we can focus on that now. So come over to Format, and let's click Video. So to create a video blog post, all you need to do is use that video option, and then you're going to get video post format options. It's really simple. All we need to do is find a YouTube video we want to use. We are getting a YouTube video within a YouTube video. And I'm going to use my videos, although the GoPro ones are like really cool and inspiring. Check out those for sure. And we can just get my WordPress website with GoDaddy. You just need to copy the URL to the video and then come back. Paste that in over video URL, and that video will show up, and we'll see that in a second. Let's just choose a category for this post. We need to click add new, and I'm going to call this one trail. So now we have food and trail. And click add new category. Good job. And lastly, we need an excerpt for your homepage blurb. All right, and with just that much, with your title, with the featured image, your body content, with a format for the post and the video link that goes with it, and now that you've chosen a category and inserted an excerpt, we have a blog post. We're ready to click publish, although you're going to, of course, want to spend a little more time making the writing part of it compelling and working on the writing. All right, let's publish. And now let's check out the homepage. So when we click the homepage, we have our new video post, and the video shows up right there. All right, and then it comes right on top of our first post. So the older posts will go down, and the new posts will come up top. We can play the video right from the homepage.
Standard.
So just another tutorial I made. And then we can click through to the blog post. We can see the video sits perfectly at the top, and then we have our content. Very nice. That's me trying to look all professional in my home office. All right, so let's add another blog post now that we got the hang of it. Let's go to new again and click post. All right, and this post is going to be a gallery. That means we want a lot of one type of images, because a gallery should be like lots of a certain thing, like lots of flowers or lots of mountains or lots of lakes. So let's set featured image, and let's see what we have a lot of. Well, judging from this, we have a lot of vacation photos, but we also have a lot of horse photos. So let's make like a horseback riding gallery. So because we're setting the featured image, we're choosing the main image for the blog post, and we should definitely use the image we worked so hard on in PicMonkey. All right, and set featured image. Then we can move down and actually set up the image gallery. There's no need to write the title first or the body content first. You can write blog posts in WordPress however works best for you. So when we click gallery, we're going to get a new set of options right here in the Laurel theme. And we can just click add media, this button right here. Super easy. Now it's time to actually select multiple posts for the photo gallery. So wait, that's dog sledding. We just want horses. And I'm gonna hit command, it'd be control on a PC, and hold it down so the check mark comes on more than one image, and we can select a lot of images. All right, another horse image, and two more from riding the sleigh. Okie doke. Now once you have your gallery images selected, just click select, and they'll come in. So we're gonna move to categories just because it's right here. And we're gonna say attractions. Click add new, and also trail. All right. So time for a title. Enter title here. How about Cold Winter's Sleigh Ride? And you might think more about your titles than I do. Don't go too crazy thinking about titles, but if you're making articles that want to rank in Google, then you just want to insert 1 to 3 keywords in the title. So they'll also go in the permalink, and Google will know a little bit more about what those posts are about. In this case, it's just a travel blog, and with these posts, I'm not trying to rank them in Google. But believe me, I'm happy to help you rank posts in Google if you want, because when I'm not doing these posts, that's what I'm doing. All right, and some body content. Pan Ipsum, again, our favorite tool. All right, and carriages and chariots, why not? Generate Ipsum, and we're good to go. I like this one. I always wanted to visit Berlin. Copy and paste. And we should have ourselves a new blog post. All right, let's double check it. Oh, we just need our excerpt. So maybe something that would make people want to read the post. Perfect. And now publish. All right, we are publishing our third post. We can click back to the home page, and there's, oh, our new post did not come in. Why didn't that come in? There we go. It was just thinking, and the gallery was loading. So if you want a specific image to show up first on the gallery, we can edit the post, and we can put a certain image in this first slot right here. So we can actually get rid of the color version because we don't need two of that photo. Add media, and then let's choose the image from PicMonkey that we worked so hard on. Click select, and we can just drag it to the front. So that way, when we update the post, then it'll show up on the first spot, and it'll be what people see right away. All right, there we go. Great job. If you're wondering how to launch a blog, then 3 blog posts is a really good number to launch your blog with. And my previous readers and viewers and I have actually pioneered the 3 blog post rule, where you have 1 blog post, which is a welcome to the blog post, and you have a second blog post, which is something controversial to shake up your niche and show your readers that you're going to do things a little bit differently, and a third blog post, which is a really long, exhaustive list to show that you're an expert on your topic. If you have just those 3 posts, that's enough to get people reading and get them interested in the new blog you just built. It might sound super simple, but believe me, it works. Simple works. So with that said, I might add a few more blog posts later, but we now have 3 and we can move on our scorecard. That's not our scorecard. That's our scorecard. That's Microsoft Word. And we can check off add more blog posts, and now we can move on to create our image gallery slider. So in the last step, we learned how to create an image gallery slider for our blog posts, which is really cool. But a lot of the blogs we looked at in the intro had some sort of image gallery slider or hero image, which would just be one image, or banner image or something that was really big and attractive on the home page. So let's learn how to make that as well, because bigger is better. We can click the logo to go back to the home page, and we just want to put a huge image at the top of the blog. So how do we do that? Well, it's actually easier than you might think. Just click Customize. Now click Featured Area Settings, and just check Enable Featured Area. And voila, you now have a massive image gallery slider at the top of the blog, and it's working great. The reason this was so easy is because we already added featured images to our blog post, and the slider is using those featured images. It's also easy because we traveled around the country and took good images, and they're high quality, and we edited them to look nice. So that's just how it works in that case. It's really easy to do this part of the blog. You can also select featured category and only show some images based on a category, or change the amount of slides. Save and publish, and we're done with this step. Great job. X out. Alright, so the next step is going to be to create our logo. And there's like a million ways to make a logo, but unfortunately a lot of those ways are wrong. You could make an image that's too complicated, too confusing, too many colors, too much going on, and we all see a lot of logos every day that look bad. So what I want you to do is just Google logo, and then click images, and whatever you see on your screen should be a lot like mine here. I just want you to use these ideas to create a logo that's simple and yet beautiful. Nothing too complicated. We're already seeing some good ones here. And we're all smart enough to know that logos actually do take a lot of time and research and, brain power and even money to make. Like this Wikipedia one, you have the peace sign, but you also have a person that looks like they're reading, or at least holding their arms together with a book, and perhaps some other different themes going on there as well. So I'm no expert at making logos, but I do know that I'm bad at making them. And that's why I like that I have PicMonkey. All right. So what we're going to do is just go to PicMonkey, and we're just going to make a super simple logo that's only text. There's nothing wrong with the text logo, especially if it's your first logo, and I'll show you why. So on PicMonkey, we can click Design Now because we want a blank canvas to design on, and we also want a transparent canvas in case you change your blog background color. So check that, and now we just need the T for text. Oops, apply canvas color, yes. So right away we have the nice recent fonts. I used Good Dog because it's the GoDaddy font for my GoDaddy website tutorial. And then we have some other ones I like. Arial's always good. Play around and make the most of your 7-day free trial at PicMonkey. All right, but I'm settling on this font right here. I really like the way it looks, and I think it looks like handwriting, which I especially like. So click Add Text once you have your font. And then let's type out our name. And we're going to go with Greg Narayan, no spaces, because that's also the website name. Remember my advice from earlier. So whatever these letters are right here should be what it says in your logo. It might seem like a no-brainer, but I see a ton of people mess this up. So let's just drag our title or our text logo, whatever we really want to call it. We're going to size it, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger than it should be. All you need to do is eyeball the space where your logo will go. So it's roughly this area where we see Laurel right now. And we're going to want the logo to be maybe twice that big, so WordPress will size it down, and that'll maintain the quality. If you make WordPress size an image up to fit into a space, then it becomes blurry, which we don't want. So this is honestly perfect. I'm going to keep the black text color and click to the 3 bars at the top and then click crop. Now let's drag in the cropped region to make it the perfect size. Give yourself about 1/4 of a centimeter on the top, right, left, and bottom, and that'll be perfect. That looks good. Now we can click apply. If your logo is still too big like this, come back to the site and right click where it says Laurel. And now choose the inspect or inspect element option. So I'm going to show you a trick to see the exact size of the logo that the developers of the theme chose. And it popped up for a second, but to get it back, we can just come down where my mouse is and hover on where it says IMG SRC. And we can see that that Laurel logo, as it shows when it pops up right there, is 156 by 30 pixels. It's very small. That gives us a good estimation for ours though. So if our logo is about 200 by 60, it'll be just fine. Back in PicMonkey, we can click resize, and then we can choose to change the size to 200 by about 60 pixels and click apply. If you don't like it, hit Command or Control Z and make it bigger, then hit resize again, and maybe we'll go with something even a little bit bigger, like 300 by 86. And that should be good. Click apply. Now let's click save. Give our text logo a title. And save to my computer. And save. And replace. To add the logo to your blog, just come back to the blog, get rid of this little window, and click Customize. Now click Header and Logo Settings. Click Select Image, Upload, select Files, and you'll see your logo, hopefully at the top, or you can find it by the name, and click Open. Click Choose Image in the lower right, and WordPress will insert your logo. The final step to make sure it fits perfectly is just sizing down the max width a little bit. From 100, we can try 90, and from 90, maybe we want 75. This gives us a little more white space around the image to make it look perfect. And we can save and publish. Exit, let's see what we made. And we have a pretty darn good looking first logo. Not perfect, but it'll definitely do for a start. As you can see, how to make a logo for your blog is kind of a touch and feel process. Try different sorts of images, icons, fonts, and see if you can get the best logo for your site. If you need icons and text next to each other, just click back to the butterfly in PicMonkey and feel free to explore to your heart's content. But the reason a simple text logo is great for your first logo is because you can always add to it and people will appreciate how you're developing your logo. Before we finish the logo step, let's add a browser icon, also called a fave icon, which goes where my mouse is up here in the browser tab to identify your site. We can see YouTube has one and Google has one, and all those blogs we looked at in the intro have one, so we should have one too. Again, let's keep it simple. Let's go back to PicMonkey, click on the T to edit our text, and just click to highlight, and double click to bring up your cursor. For our icon, I just want our initials. So let's make it GN, or whatever your initials are. Alright, we can click away, and then we can click again and drag to center. And now of course we need to do one more crop. Alright, so let's come back to the 3 bars, click crop, and drag in the perfect cropped region with about a 1/4 centimeter around each side. Alright, we're almost done. Just click apply. Now click save. PNG is great, but let's just call this, instead of untitled, site icon, because that's what WordPress calls it. And save to my computer. And save. Now come back to your blog, click customize again. And now click site identity. And now we can fill in the site icon. Just click select image, upload files, select files, and we can double click our site icon. Click select. We will skip the cropping in the lower right, and let's hope it works. Save and publish, exit, see what we made, and voila, there we go. You now have a beautiful, simple site icon. So now the logo step is done. Now we're going to create pages for your blog, and then after that we're going to create menus to put those pages into. So to create pages, it's a lot like making posts with a few subtle differences. To get started, we can come up to new page. We like using this quick menu. Alright, and then a really good first page is just about us, and I'm going to show you how to add some pretty content to the pages too. So we first need some text, alright, and I'm just going to lay out our text so we have some space to work with. Alright, there we go. So you might have some headers, like, a first header. I like using those heading 4s. For some reason, I just like using the even numbers because someone told me they rank better in Google once, but I think they were just messing around with me. And maybe you have a quote or two, so that's also a great addition for your about page. Quote, easy to set up, there we go. So the cool thing I want to show you about a page like About Us is something to do with an image. So let's insert an image after this third paragraph. Click Add Media. Alright, so we have some beautiful images we could choose from. Might be a tough choice in fact, but just for the sake of being artsy, I'm going to choose our frozen fence. I like that one a lot. Next, we're not going to insert this image into the page. We're actually going to come up to the upper right and click Edit Image. So do that. Now we could actually do a lot with this image, but I just want it to be a perfect circle that sits in the middle of the page. And to do that, we need to first make an aspect ratio on the right of 1:1. All right, and just leave that in there. Next, hold down the Shift key. See, I'm holding Shift right now. I just pressed it, and drag a square on top of the image. And then drag it even larger so you get as much as possible. And then just let go of Shift and move it to the best possible part of the image. Cool. Now we can click the crop button right here. And you've just created a perfect square image. We need to click Save. So if you want the image to be larger or smaller, you could also click Edit now, and you could change these numbers on the upper right, which are the dimensions. Let's click back. Now in Attachment Display Settings, we'll see a new option for size, full size, which is perfect. It's a full square. So choose that and then click Insert into Page. All right, so that's looking pretty cool. To make this image into a perfect circle now, we can come to the Text tab, and we see that where the image looks like big and awesome like an image in the Visual tab, in the Text tab it just looks like this one line because WordPress has turned the image into a little piece of code. That's what things look like in the Text tab when they're an image. So all we need to do is edit this one line so that it looks how we want. The first thing I want to show you how to edit is the width and the height. Let's make those 500 instead of 1200. And when we click visual, the changes will be made. Now let's go back to text and let's add in one simple line of what's called CSS. And I probably shouldn't show you guys this now because technically we're still beginners, but I want you to just know like what's possible with WordPress if you apply a little bit of knowledge of HTML and CSS, and tempt you guys with the possibilities. So just follow after me and I'll bring it in nice and close so we can see. So just write with me, style equals quotation mark. That's how I was like starting off. Border, just the word border, radius, colon, 50%, and then semicolon, close quote, and then one space. So this is just one of the first ways I learned how to write CSS on an image. You start it with the style, and then within the quotation marks, you can write anything else you want, like border color or size, and so on and so forth. And you can do that with pieces of text too. You can write in that style and then give it like a font or a color as well. But let's just stick to this for now because there's a little more to it. So come on back to visual and let's see what we made with that style equals border radius 50%. And we see we've created a perfect circle. So excellent job. If your circle doesn't look like mine, then let me know in the comments. All right, so we're almost ready to publish the page. Let's see what else we might need for our about page. We can click template. Maybe you want a different template, but let's see what default looks like and let's publish. And click view page. We can see we have a very nice about us page, and that could totally work. I want us to put an image at the top of the about us page, so let's click edit page and let's set its featured image, and that way we can give two images to our about page. So I really like this one also of the family reunion edit, which was a photo I got from Pixabay and then edited in PicMonkey, and now it's on WordPress. So pretty standard, love it. We're gonna set featured image, and now we're gonna update, and now view page. All right, so that's pretty cool. Our site is coming to life. If we wanted the image to go across the whole page, just one more thing we could do, edit page, and then in template, you can choose the page with full width image. So you also have the full width page and the full width page with slider, but this option, page with full width image, gives us the content, the full width image, and the sidebar. So let's update, view page, and we should be good to go. Let's add one more page and let's do it the old-fashioned way. But first we're gonna delete the tabs. All right, so let's go back to our dashboard. We can also add a page by clicking pages and then add new, and you can see the pages you've already made. Sorry, sample page. Time to go to the trash. All right, so click add new, and the next page you might want to add is a contact us page. And because I said I'd show you how to do some cool things in each of the pages, in this one we're going to create a contact us form people can use at your blog. So let's click publish first. All right, and now we have to put in that contact form. Now that it's published, we can just leave it here and it won't go anywhere. So let's go to plugins, and because we've installed contact form 7 already, we can click its settings, and now we can just copy the shortcode by clicking once right here and just copying. This is why people love contact form 7 so much, because you get the default contact form out of the box. Once you copy it, come back to pages, click contact us, and you can just paste that short code that we copied in the text tab. Remember, you want to be in the text tab when you're pasting in code of any sort. So right click, paste. All right, and that could be all we need to do, but we want to make it look perfect with a featured image. Set featured image. All right, and I have this nice Pixabay image of someone potentially contacting us, you know, to get people in the mood to write us a nice note. So choose that one, or you can find a similar one on Pixabay, I'm sure. Set featured image. And now for template, let's go with the about page template as well. So that was just page with full width image. and update. View page. And we have a nice working contact us page. Alright, so most contact us pages look a lot like this on any other blog, but they might have some text at the top. So you and your team work out the best little blurb there to be personable and talk to your audience. Alright, Blogging Scorecard says create pages are done, and now that we have some pages, we can create menus. Alright, so how do you make a menu on WordPress? Well, we have what looks like a menu, but really this is just WordPress guessing where our pages should go. To make a real menu, go back to the dashboard and hover on appearance and click menus. Alright, so it's a hard to find one. But once you know how to do this, it's going to become really easy next time. For starters, we can just give menu 1 a name. So I like main menu. And then we can just click the blue create menu button. You actually have to create it by clicking that button. And now it's real. All right, so now that it's real, we can drag in like links or move them around. And what I want us to do, because we actually already have the about us and the contact us, but if you didn't, like if they were not here, or if you deleted them by opening them up and removing them, then you can just select it from the left like that and click add to menu. To change the title of one of your menu tabs, you can just open it up by clicking the arrow and then change the wording like that and then just close it. And now to add more items to the menu, what I want us to do is click categories, select all, and click add to menu to give our readers the option of choosing anything that our blog post covers. And you can drag them anywhere you want. I just think they look good towards the start, towards the home button. This top menu item is on the far left of our menu. And let's see what that looks like. All right, so once you drag your items to a good arrangement, in display location, make sure to check primary menu and click save menu. And if you don't check primary menu, then it won't show up. All right. So now we can click back to the site and we see we have a real menu. Very cool. And when you click trail, you get all the posts about trail. So that's just 2 posts now, but hopefully you'll have more posts and more content. And food is working. And about us and contact us also work great. So we're starting to really make a real blog. And one cool thing is that the category links look a little bit different. So they have the word category in them so that your users and Google knows that your blog now has a lot of different categories. All right, so that was super easy. Okay, and the next step is going to be easy as well. So it's time for a fun step. We're going to add social media icons to your blog. And if you didn't have a premium theme, you might find yourself copy pasting different icons around your blog and having them show up all funny in different places. But with our premium theme here, it's really easy to create social media icons and build a blog with more social media icons than any blog you might have ever seen. So let's do it. So we're going to click customize. And the social media section is practically built in for us. We just have to click social media settings, and now you just write in your Facebook name. We don't even need to write out the link. So Dear Blogger and Greg Narayan, and then all of the social profiles that you're proud of, that you spent tons of time building. So I unfortunately don't have all of these, but you can just write in a placeholder if you want and it'll show up, and that way we can, test it out. We can see what the icon looks like. So Google Plus is an interesting one. I think it's just the number, kind of weird. Yeah, so we can basically do all of them. I'm just gonna write in the word itself if I don't have it. You should follow me on SoundCloud, lots of good work music. Don't have Vimeo. And then LinkedIn, it's hard for me to not hate on LinkedIn because of how they make you add all your contacts by mistake when you sign up for them. But let's just say that they're not my favorite. Although I know they can be very useful. I've heard that people make good connections on them. And Snapchat, I hope you use. That Snap's big these days, right? All right, so save and publish, and that's all you need to do. X out, and now we can refresh and test out our social media buttons. So you get Facebook. That's awesome. So this is where we share free blog tips and stories and just small little videos that might make your day a little bit better. No big deal. And it looks like the social media icons are a little bit too crazy up there. So I think we've proved our point that we have more social icons than like any other blog ever. And we're just going to remove a couple of them. All right, so it looks good. So back to social media settings, and let's remove Blog 11, Dribbble, Tumblr because we use WordPress, Vimeo because we use YouTube, and all right, fine, that's great. We'll keep all the rest of them. Okay, so we're done with the social media icons. So next order of business is to add the search box, and we're gonna progress to our sidebar right now. So I think it's gonna be fun. People spend a lot of time making the perfect sidebar, and it's just a place to, help your readers navigate your site a little better and place call to actions, email subscribe forms, stuff like that. It complements your content. That's the idea with the sidebar. It's supposed to go along with your content. All right, but so we got to go to the dashboard, and then we have to go to appearance, widgets. What's a widget? A widget is like a gadget in WordPress. It just accomplishes like one certain thing. So it can be small, it can be bigger, but like I have a gadget in my living room that turns on lights, and I have a gadget that cleans the floor. So if you have a gadget in your sidebar, it's going to do something for you, and if it doesn't work, then you can remove it. You can take it, you can drag it down to inactive widgets, or you can just open it up and delete it like that. And this is your sidebar. So anything in here, any widget over here, will then live on your blog sidebar. So we don't want recent comments. We don't have any yet. And we don't really need recent, well, all right, we can keep recent posts. But the point is that you shouldn't have anything in your sidebar that's empty. And that's a mistake a lot of us make. We want to like fill it in so it looks busy and our blog looks popular, but really less is more. You shouldn't have anything in your sidebar that doesn't have a purpose. So we only have a few categories, and at this point I think it's either categories or posts that we should include. And we have our categories in our menu, so we're going to delete categories. We're very strategic about it. The first item in our sidebar though is the search box. So that's done. We just need to give it a title. So I'm going to say search the blog. Click save, and now if we open our site in a new tab, then we can see that the search the blog box is there, and we can try out a search like winter. And we're going to get the winter post right here. But what if we search something we know we don't have, like chicken? Hit enter. Then it's just going to come up like empty. So that's okay. But as you write more and more blog posts, hopefully people will be able to search for them. I mean, if people search for a post they know about, like you write a really good post on chicken that everyone wants to read, then they'll probably find that. Done with search box. All right, so now it's time to put some social buttons in our sidebar. So how do we do that? Well, we keep the widgets window open, and we're going to keep the blog window open. I'm just going to click the logo and go back to the home page and keep our sidebar in plain sight so we can work on it. Then we're going to go to widgets, and we're going to come down and we're going to see what we got. So Laurel comes with some special widgets, and we're going to make use of most of them, if not all of them. We're going to click social icons and then just click add widget. And now you can choose your favorite widgets. So because it's a sidebar, it's a little bit less space. I recommend 3 to 5 of them. That should do it, and we'll click save. All right, and now you can just click it and close it. Let's close that search, and we'll also close the subscribe and follow. And we can also retitle it to say something different. Close it, and refresh. Alright, so now your audience has two ways to follow you. They can either click this Facebook or this Twitter, this Instagram, and so on and so forth. And those links are related to these links up here, so you don't need to write them in twice down here. Alright, so now we're cruising. We're done with social buttons. Let's make our about box that's going to go in the sidebar right below those social buttons. So this is a great place to say hi to the reader. People tend to bring their eyes over to the sidebar as they're reading, and if you can just say a few words about yourself and relate to them, then you're in good shape. So back to widgets, and we're going to grab the special Laurel About Me widget. This is the only theme I've ever seen that comes with a specific About Me widget, and it just shows that the authors care about your blog and they've thought through things you might need. So let's click Add Widget and make sure you've chosen Sidebar and not Instagram footer. We're going to make that later. Alright, and then I'm going to call this one, Hey There, exclamation, nice to meet you. And it's going to go all caps, so lowercase is fine. So now we need some URLs. How do we get a URL? Well, we can go to our media and we can right click and open it in a new tab so that we can keep working on widgets. So what I want to do is just open up an image which includes Michelle and I, because it's our blog and it's all of our blog, but we're the authors. And the URL that the widget wants is just this URL. So when you click on an image, it's like the URL right here in the upper right corner. We can just copy it, and then we can come back to widgets and we can paste it in right there. And then you can make the link go somewhere. So we actually do have a place for it to go. If you go to your site and you right click on the About tab, you can copy the link to that page, or you can just click through to it and copy the link up top right here. Either way, but we want to give that widget somewhere to go to. Okay, so now it's time for some text, and you just want to say a few words about you which might relate to the reader. So I'm going to say, we're Greg and Michelle. We're pretty bad, and let them jump on the counter and try out all sorts of foods, or at least smell them. So yeah, that's a pretty good intro, and we're Greg and Michelle, welcome to the blog. And that looks good. All right, so autograph image URL. Now that is my fault. We were supposed to make that in PicMonkey. So best thing to do now is going to be to go back to PicMonkey. And we can do this pretty quickly because we did it before. We can just, and you're still using your 7-week free trial. So we can go to design. And then once you're in design, you can just do transparent and then text. And now we want the font from before, so we have the same design all around our blog, stays consistent. So this one. Now we're going to click add text and write out a signature, which is just Greg plus Michelle. And we can crop that bad boy. Let's click 3 bars at the top and crop and pull it in. All right, so as long as you do a pretty precise job, you don't have to be perfect, but that looks good. And that sort of applies to a lot of things at the blog. It doesn't have to be perfect, just focus on the content, and we're gonna click apply. All right, so it's really big. Let's now click resize and make it like maybe 200 in this case. Apply. All right, now let's click save and title it. It's also funny, if you do PNG, then it gives you the James Bond options, and Sean is the best one, clearly. Sean Connery, probably. All right, we're going to call it autograph now. Autograph image, and save to computer, and save. All right, so now you need to go back to your media and upload it, and then get the link. So we're going to click add new in media, select, double click autograph image. There it is. Now just click to open, highlight the URL and copy it, right click copy, and now just pop that bad boy in the autograph image URL. All right, and we can save this widget, and let's see how it looks. Let's refresh the site, and now we have this beautiful About Us widget. Great job. So, scorecard, we're done with that, and now it's time to make the Instagram widget, just like Scout16, one of my favorite urban fashion blogs out there. And all right, we're gonna go back to widgets now. Close up the previous one, and we're gonna open/use the Instagram widget. There it is, just Instagram. So most blogs don't have this. We're using a great premium theme. Laurel has it. All right, so if you're not using this theme, don't expect to see an Instagram widget. All right, that's all I'll say. But it's a really good idea to use this theme, as we can see right here. So we're gonna add widget in the sidebar, and then username is just whatever you call yourself on Instagram. And I like 9 photos, and I also like the small option. That's pretty cool. So that should do it. Follow me, maybe not follow me, it's a little aggressive. How about Instagram at Naraga. Cool. Save it, close it up, and let's check out our sidebar. Refresh. And we've just created our own custom Instagram widget. Very nice. So that part is done, and we can move on to the second column over here of our create your blog section. We are getting there, guys. I'm not going to say we're almost done, but we are definitely getting there. To install a Facebook box so people can like your blog right from the sidebar, it's really easy. Just come back to customize. And by the way, we can add widgets to our sidebar in customize also. We can do it by going to widgets at the bottom and then clicking sidebar. So if this way feels better than this way, then it's whatever you'd like. This is the old-fashioned way in appearance widgets, and customize is the new way. So let's try the new way just to get the hang of that too. So we would just click the add a widget button, and now we see the exact same selection right here as we do on this screen right here. So we're gonna grab the Facebook like box, click, and it'll come in because we're already in the sidebar. So now we just need to write in your Facebook URL, and I know that one by heart. Facebook makes their links really easy. Dear blogger. All right, and then it'll pull in right there. We don't need to insert any code or anything like that. You can also show stream, unshow cover image, and customize your like box so that it looks perfect on your blog. And let's say join. All right, and we're done with that. Save and publish. Next, we want to add an email subscription widget to our blog. So let's make sure to check off Facebook box. And now we're going to do the subscribe box. This is one of the trickier steps though. It's always a couple steps to add a subscription widget to your blog, because you need to create an email list for it so that people can actually subscribe to something, which I'll explain in a moment. And then you need to put the form on your sidebar or like in a blog post. And we can do all of that. I just want to show you the best order to do that in, having collected a lot of subscribers myself in the past. So the first step is to sign up for MailChimp. MailChimp has the best free email newsletter option, and we're gonna make use of it. It's just MailChimp, and their website is mailchimp.com, email marketing platform. And on this screen, click sign up free. So we just need to enter a good email address. That's not good. There we go. And then a username. And then a password. And they are a little specific with the passwords. So let's please MailChimp. And then just click get started. So MailChimp's going to help us create an email newsletter for free. We've sent a message. All right, so now you just go to your email. Next, you'll get an email like this saying welcome to MailChimp, and maybe one to verify your email address. So just go ahead and verify with MailChimp if they ask you to. And then we can come down and click Get Started. And we're gonna have to log in. Say we're not a robot. Okay, we'll do that one just to verify. They like being very secure, which is a good thing in the long run. And I hope we got that right, and log in. So all we need to do really to get this working is create a list on this end. So once you see this screen, just click Lists at the top. And now we can create list. So a list is just like a blank sheet of paper. Like if you were signing up people at your community center for an event or for your email newsletter, you would just need like a clipboard and a piece of paper to write things down. The list is basically the clipboard and the piece of paper. So we just want to create a list right here. And all it needs is a name. So we'll call it create a blog video. And a from email address that will send to people. So when you write newsletters, it'll send from this one. Okay, and a name. This is all just really standard and normal. And remind people how they signed up. So maybe we can just use like a standard one. All right, and we're gonna come down, notifications sent to, so we can get our summary activity, and you'll get an email as people subscribe. So that's really nice. When you're out and about and someone subscribes, you can be happy for that little moment, and save. All right, excellent. You have a brand new list. Okay, no subscribers yet though. So let's put the form on our blog and people can start using it to subscribe. Okay, so here we are back at the blog, and now it's time to click to our dashboard and click plugins. And we actually need one more widget to operate MailChimp, to use the MailChimp's features. So let's click add new in plugins. And this one's free, of course. And now come up to the right and do a search for MailChimp for WP, just like that. And this is the one we want in the upper left by a barcode. So we can install now and then activate. And now to set it up, we're going to get the new settings in MailChimp for WordPress. So click Settings. And it needs an API key to be connected. So we need to go back to MailChimp. Hopefully you kept this window open. If not, you might have to log in again. So we just need to go back to MailChimp and click on your name in the upper right. And then click Profile. And you're going to find your API key in Extras, API keys. All right, and then API key is right here. MailChimp will generate it for you. Just click it to highlight it. Copy the whole thing. It's really long and weird. But let me know if you have any problems creating an API key. And then back in WordPress, paste it in and save changes. And now we're connected. Great. So what we want to do is then have our lists. So they come in a second. And if you don't see your list right here below, then click Renew MailChimp List. All right, and done. So we're all done on this screen. And now we can just go to Appearance, hover there, and click Customize. And back to Widgets, Sidebar. All right, add a widget. Now we'll have the option for the MailChimp sign-up form. Perfect, so choose that one. And we're going to go all the way down to the sidebar where it should appear. And there is newsletter. Okay. So we've added it. Great. Doesn't look like much though. It just says newsletter. Maybe we can change that to join our newsletter. Call to action verb. All right. So we'll close that for now. Just save and publish. And we need to do one more step to show the newsletter. Let's go back by clicking the X. Now let's click on Forms on the left in the MailChimp for WordPress settings. It's going to ask us what the name of the form is, so just choose any name you like. Subscribe form, and now choose a list that people should subscribe to through this form. And click Add New Form. Excellent work. So let's scroll down now and let's just save changes without changing anything on this screen. And let's see what we made. So we have our blog open in this window. Go to the home page and click down. All right, so we have an actual newsletter form that people can use. That's really cool. You get the choice of at least 2 designs now. The first one is this really simple design with just email address and the option for people to put that in and click sign up. So if you think that works for you, then stick with this. Or if you want a larger, more robust form, then I'm going to show you how to use the specific form for our Laurel theme. To do that, let's Google Laurel theme WordPress documentation. And whenever you do this, you'll find some goodies that the developers left for us. You just have to work a little bit to make us work. So where would this be? All right, I think we want the beginner basics getting started with Laurel. Let's click that. And Solopine has this help site at tixie.com. So I'll of course link this to you guys in the video notes below. Don't worry about that. We're just going to want to click the section that says set up your newsletter widget, and hopefully we'll find a goodie down here. All right, so this is the design we're shooting for. And let's see if we can get it. Check out this article, how to set up Laurel's newsletter widget. Let's click that. And let's see if there's a goodie. I know there's a goodie. Oh, here it is. All right, so you can read through this whole article if you want. I already have. And then we're just going to come down because we've already done the first step, we've done the second step, we've done the third step. All we need is this little goodie right here, which is a little chunk of code. Just highlight this HTML, copy it. We don't need to know what it means unless you want to. I can explain it. And you want to go back to your website, and then in this field, we're just going to highlight it. All right, so what we're going to do actually is we're actually going to highlight this code and copy it. All right, and come back to our text edit file from before where we put our WordPress installation details way back, and we're just gonna paste this in. So we have this simple layout, and now we can use the really nice robust layout. All right, so let's copy that again. Just copy this little gem, come back, paste it over what it says right here, just like I did right there, and click Save Changes. All right, so you get 2 email subscription form layouts, and I think we should be working now. We'll refresh our blog, and excellent, great job. We can test it out, so let's use one of my other emails and subscribe to our list. So when someone clicks subscribe, all right, they're gonna get a confirmation and saying, please check your email inbox to confirm. So pretty standard, and everything works. If you want any tips on how to build your email list, design your form, grow your newsletter, give people incentives to subscribe, that's what the comments are for, because I've definitely gone through all this. I know how you feel just starting out. All right, and we can move on now. But like I said, that's what the comments are for. Happy to help. So we're done with the subscribe box, and why don't we move on and add a Google advertisement. All right, to put a Google ad or several Google ads on your blog is actually really easy. You just copy paste the Google code and put it on your blog. The hard part is getting accepted to Google's advertising program called AdSense. So this is the first tutorial where I'm going to walk you through 3 steps you need to do before you apply to AdSense to increase your chance of getting accepted. The first step is write 3 blog posts. Make sure you have content. You don't want to have an empty blog because Google gets a lot of applications from bad websites that don't want to do anything but post ads, and they want to accept good blogs that have at least a few blog posts and also some pages. If you've completed up to the tutorial and the steps we've done, then you'll be fine as far as that goes. The second step is just to submit your website to Google. So if you Google submit my site to Google, you'll get exact instructions on how to do that. In fact, there's a link that says submit URL where you can click it, and literally all you need to do is just paste in the link to your blog right here and click I'm not a robot. And that at least will tell Google that you exist, that you're a real person and not a robot, and that you want to rank in the search engines and want to start doing good things. The third step is to add Google Analytics to your website. All right, so that step we're actually going to do right now together so that you can make sure you do it right. So I'm already signed up to Analytics, but I'll show you how to sign up in my little incognito window here, which doesn't recognize my Google email. So you just Google Analytics, and then you can click on the first link that says Google Analytics Solutions. All right, and then once you're on the homepage for Analytics, click Analytics in the upper left. And you're going to get an option to sign up for free. So that's what we want to do. It's always free for me, so I don't even know why they need to say that. Just click the sign up for free button. All right, and it's going to tell you the steps you need to start analyzing your site's traffic and to install Google Analytics. It's actually been a while since I set this up, so it's nice to see it brand new again. It's looking pretty cool with all the graphics. So let's do it together and click sign up. And you're going to need to tell Analytics about your website and your account name. So account name could be anything, but it's good to just put your website name in here, whatever you call your website, and then put in your website name again, and then put in your URL here. So in our case, this would be, for example, Greg Narayan, and then www.gregnarayan.com. That should work, and they already give us the HTTP portion of that. Okay. Next, just choose an industry category, and we are an educational tutorial on how to create a blog. So maybe we are jobs and education, although we're not really jobs, unless you use blogging as a job. So all right, that could work. And then we're going to come down and click Get Tracking ID. All right, and then click I accept. And then Google will give you this awesome tracking ID that they made just for your blog. This is unique to your blog. So this is the tracking ID for Google Analytics property. If you're using a third-party web hosting provider like WordPress, GoDaddy, Wix, you'll need to follow their instructions to set up analytics. Okay, got it. So you have me here, so I'm your third-party instructions. And we're gonna highlight the code from the script part to the other script part, copy it. All right, and then we're good right here. We don't need to do anything else in Analytics. Just come back to the blog. So we're back at the blog, and we're gonna click to the dashboard. To install your Google Analytics code, just hover on Settings and click WP Insert Code and paste that code in the header code box. Perfect, just like that. All right, so we can paste a lot of code in header if other sites wanna verify with us, but for now this is a great start and this is all we need to do. We're going to click Save Changes, and now Google will be able to read your site and track the amount of traffic you get in your Analytics dashboard. So give it about 24 hours for Analytics to start communicating with your website and tracking your visitors coming in from all around the world and gather some good rich data, and then come back to Analytics and click Home. And now we can see I have all these Analytics accounts, but you just want to open up yours. For example, we're going to open up all right, fine, I'll show you one good number. So if you open up the folder and you click to your blog, then you can see the traffic that's taken place, the little wave. And the best area I like to go to is to click Behavior and click Site Content, All Pages. And this shows you your best blog posts or your pages. Both pages and posts show up here. You can analyze and look at the numbers. All right, so we're going to close Analytics. With those 3 steps done, with your 3 blog posts and a couple pages live, now that you've submitted your content to Google and now that you've installed Google Analytics, you could also add your site to Google Webmaster Tools. You can just do that through Google. Just Google Webmaster Tools and set that up. If you do all that, you're going to have a much better chance of getting signed up and approved in Google AdSense. So now that we've done that, we can go to Google AdSense and see what it looks like. All right, and here we are. I'm going to sign in. We don't need to read her story. And I'm sure it's good, though. There's always people making a killing with AdSense, and I'm not one of them, but they're out there. And you want to learn from them. There's a million ways to make good money with AdSense and do it all the right way. and they really will pay you hundreds or thousands of dollars every month. Or, just enough to cover the cost of a domain and hosting. That's good too. So here's my dashboard, and what we want to do is click on My Ads to get an ad set up for your blog. And then you want to click New Ad Unit, and you can decide how the ad looks, the size, what sort of text or visuals appear. It's really fun. It looks like we already made an ad for our blog though, so let's just use that to save a little time. So it's the Greg Narayan sidebar ad. And I'm just going to click Get Code, that little blue link. All right, and now sort of like the analytics code, you just need to copy what Google gives you. Make sure it says asynchronous right there so that it loads in a good way in comparison to your other content on the page, and it doesn't take a long time to load. Then click Close. And now we're going to go back to the blog. So to insert a Google ad on your site, come to your dashboard, and you might know where to go now. We're going to go to Appearance Widgets, but we're going to do it through the Customize window. So click Customize. And now come on down back where we were before and click Widgets and click Sidebar. So this should all be looking pretty familiar by now. Just click Add Widget, and I didn't know this at first, but you can just put ads into the text widget. That's the best way to do it. Just click text, because this is really just a little window where you can write whatever you want, like hi world, or you can also use code. It's good for both of those. So we're going to paste our Google ad like such, save and publish, and that should be working. Let's X out and let's see what we made. Dashboard. Come down and we can see we have our very first Google ad. That's awesome. It's showing up nice and clear, and it's showing me that I should book the Park Hyatt Sydney. All right, and that's because I'm trying to plan a trip to Australia right now. If you have any advice, I want to make sure we see everything too, so let me know the best places to go in Australia if you've been. If you go to a different page, the ad might look different. Like on our attractions page, Google decides what ad to show based on the words around the ad. So depending on your page content, you might see a different ad. TripAdvisor's obviously a really great ad, good company, looks pretty good on a travel blog. And it will vary depending on what your blog is about. And that's one of the coolest things, is that Google does that legwork for us. We don't need to decide what ads and make those beautiful ads. They'll do it for us. If it's not showing up, it might be because you have an ad blocker working. So turn that off. Mine is turned off. All right, so that's how to get approved to Google AdSense and make a Google ad. Next, we're just going to show off our latest posts on the blog, because we have a few of them right now that people can read. So to do that, let's go back to Customize, and we're going to close up the top. All right, and now we're going to click Widgets, Sidebar, Add a Widget. So you could probably do this on your own by now. And we're just going to click Recent Posts. All right, and we're going to say Get the latest posts, and save and publish. And I believe that's done now. Let's X out. All right, so that looks beautiful, and Laurel styles it all nicely with the centered and the font and the 2 lines, so no more work needed on our part. All right, let's cross that off. We're really cruising now. And so we're going to put another Google ad now, just because you never know which ad people are going to click. Maybe they'll click the first one, the second one. You want to give them choices. If people really need choices on which ad to click. I think that's the strategy, though. There's a lot of successful sites that have ads in a few locations to optimize the real estate on your site. So let's click Customize again, and click Widgets, Sidebar. And we don't even need to get new ad code. You can just open the text widget and copy this code. Select all, copy, and just put that in another text widget. Add a widget, text, and paste it right in there. And save and publish. All right, so that's perfect. We now have 2 ads working for us. And it shows you guys how much time I spend fumbling around TripAdvisor. So cool. All right, that part's done. cross off another Google ad. Next, we're gonna set up our promo boxes, which could be about your different pages or different advertisements you make for anything you want on the web, at your blog or on another blog, really whatever you want. They're really fun. So the promo boxes go in the sidebar, which means that to create them, we have to go back to Customize and Widgets and Sidebar. And once we're here, click Add a Widget. And now, of course, we're going to choose the Laurel promo box. All right, so this widget needs a few things, but it doesn't really need a title. It really just needs a background image URL and some promo text that goes on top of the image, and then a link so when someone clicks the image, they can go somewhere that you want them to go. To get our background image URL, like we saw before, we can just open your blog in a new tab and then go to the dashboard and specifically the media area to get a new image URL. So let's click media. And now let's choose our first promo box image. So I believe that one of them was dining from the demo site. So you can of course pick any image and your blog can be about anything. So your promotions might be any sort of subject like fitness, fashion, finance. The list goes on and on. But in our case, because we're a travel blog, we have nice pictures of hotels. And the first one is this awesome wilderness hot tub that we're going to use for a promo box. So we just need the URL. We can just double click this file URL, copy it, and come back to Customize, and we'll paste it in this little bar. Now for promo text, let's just write relax. And for promo link, we actually need to open the blog in a new window. We want the real link to the attractions page. Copy and paste. Now our first promo box is created and we can go down the page and see it. And it looks really nice and pretty with a white background and the text. All right, now we just need two more promo boxes. We can close our first one, click add a widget, and now promo box. And you can add like 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you want. Keep your media window open, that makes it easy. And we can grab our image of the dining room table. We'll copy the URL. I just did like a triple click or a double click right there to highlight it. And copied it. And now we'll paste that in. Add in some text, dining, and a link. And of course this link is going to go to our food page. So I'm going to right click on top of the food page and come back and paste that in. All right, and we've created our second promo box. So that looks good. 2 is better than 1, and it looks really professional. Let me know if you have any questions as we make these promo boxes. And we can move on to the third promo box. Save and publish. Close it up. Click add a widget and choose a promo box one more time. And now we just need a picture of this nice little hotel where someone could stay. Although I guess that would be someone that didn't really want company. In any case, it looks beautiful and relaxing. So let's just copy the URL. All right, and come back and we'll paste that in. Background image URL, paste, promo code, lodging. And for our link, we haven't created a page yet for lodging. So what we're gonna do is just write coming soon above this promo box so that people know that they can expect that content coming soon. All right, and I think it'll show up. Save and publish. And we'll refresh and we have our promo boxes all set, ready to go at the bottom of the site. Great job. So let's cross that off. And now we're going to create an e-commerce website out of our blog. But we're not going to change the entire website. We're actually just going to add a shop to your blog. So one separate page where you can sell anything you want from your blog. All right, so how do we do that easily on WordPress? So I'll show you now how to add e-commerce to a blog. We can go back to the dashboard And we're going to use the best full service e-commerce plugin for WordPress called WooCommerce. It's kind of a funny name they chose, but after you hear it a few times, it sounds a little more normal and it makes sense because it does so many good things. So we're going to click Add New, and we're going to just do a search for WooCommerce. All right, and there it is. So WooCommerce is what we're going to use with 1 million plus active installs, and we're going to click Install Now. And click Activate. All right, and now just follow the steps in WooCommerce and it'll set itself up for us. So let's go. And continue. And just choose your state, wherever you're located, or your country around the world. We're in New York. And we're using pounds, inches, and dollars. So if we ship anything and if we charge any money, that's what it'll be in. But you can change that later on, of course. And continue. All right, and so yes, we're going to enable the shipping option. And if you want to charge tax, then check that box too. Continue. And now we can choose the payment options that our site will allow. So we want to allow PayPal, PayPal Standard, check payments, bank transfers, and cash on delivery, just to keep everyone happy. But if you want to remove a payment option later or change how it works, you can always do that in the checkout settings. Continue. So for one moment, I just want to go back. Let's see if it'll let us do that. All right, so what we want to make sure here is that the PayPal, I just checked and unchecked it, that the PayPal email address you have is your actual PayPal email address and not your WordPress email. So in my case, that's a little bit different. I'm going to change this because when I set up PayPal, I used this email instead. So just make sure that your PayPal email is the correct one. That way when people make purchases and use PayPal to check out on your blog, then you'll actually collect the money and there won't be like any problems with PayPal. And now continue again. All right, and now we're ready. We can create our first product. So the product screen is just like adding a new post or a new page, and because it's so easy, I'm just going to walk you through creating a demo sample product of something you might want to sell on your blog. So I like starting with a product image, which is just like a featured image. We click Set Product Image. We can choose our flowers, or we can choose something else. I think we had some food here. Where's the food? Oh, there's the food. All right, so we're going to choose the food, Set Product Image. And we're going to call this après-ski snacks. All right, then you just write a little description about the food. And you can come down and write another description down here. Includes cheese, bread. All right, and then we just need a price. You can set a regular price. Of course, your price can change whenever you want. You just have to update it. And you can make a sale price too. We can just see how that looks. All right, and now we're going to choose a category. Food, click Add New. So it's a lot like adding a new post when you add a new product. And if you want the product to have multiple options, like a t-shirt would have large, small, medium, etc., or different colors, then you need to change this option to variable product. And I have a tutorial, a different video tutorial on how to do that as well. So I'll send you that in the comments if you want to create more options for your product. But for now, this is just called a simple product, one price, one set of options. And let's publish. All right, now let's view product. And we can see we've made our very first product. If you click the image, we get this nice overlay pop out. So that's pretty cool. And if we go back, we can see just how the product looks. So it has the description down below. It has reviews. People can start reviewing it and buying it. And then we also have the option to change the quantity of this après-ski snacks item. People can add to cart. And then right away, view cart. So it's kind of like a simplified version of Amazon. You have a lot of the professional features, just not a million products and a million options at once, just the simplicity of e-commerce. And you can give people coupon codes. Those are also really easy to create. And then someone can click proceed to checkout and fill in some billing details, additional information, and order details. And then they can look at their order, decide how they want to pay you, and click place order. And pretty much everything is set up. So the only parts of this e-commerce shop here that aren't set up are that I don't have the boxes and the goods in place to go ahead and ship people these food goods if they order it from our store. That's basically the only thing we don't have in place, because we can now start accepting payments. And we haven't listed the shop in our navigation menu. Even though WooCommerce went ahead and set up all these pages for us, we should give people the option of navigating to the shop. And then we're done. So if you remember to edit our menu up top here, we need to go back to the dashboard, and we need to hover on appearance and click menus. And now we have more pages here because WooCommerce set them up for us. So we can just select shop, cart, checkout, and my account. Click add to menu, and that's great. What I'm going to do is just simplify it by dragging shop up and then indenting my account, checkout, and cart right here. So we just indented. And I want to make sure everyone notices that step. So this is not only how to simplify your menu, but also how to create a drop-down menu in WordPress. And I'll show you how it looks right now. Let's just save it. And now we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in the main menu and 3 items in the drop-down. So let's go and see how it looks now. We're just going to actually refresh the checkout page. So now we added the shop edition in our navigation, and the drop-down looks great. All right, and everything fits, and you didn't need to go ahead and create a custom drop-down or look up a tutorial on how to do that, because we created it here right through WordPress and with WooCommerce. So that'll help people navigate just like they navigate on Amazon when they want to like check out right away or view the cart or just see their account and edit their profile details and their other personal details. All, of course, within your blog. So if we open up our scorecard, we can see that we're actually now done with 2 more steps. We did the shop and we did drop-down menu. So great job. Now we're going to learn how to set up your own Instagram footer so that when people are scrolling down on your blog, whatever type of blog you make, they'll think they're done with amazing content, and then bam, you'll show them a bunch of cool photos of you on Instagram so you can become just like James Franco or Gucci Mane or Solange or Blake Lively or anyone else that's really famous on Instagram. And it's going to be really tough to do. That's the only catch. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's going to be really easy. And the rest of the tutorial is actually all downhill. So let's do it. To get your Instagram footer set up, just go to Customize yet again. And now we're going to click Widgets and Instagram footer. And click Add a Widget. And so now we just want the... Is it Instagram? Is it Instagram? There's Instagram. So just choose that one. And now we can come down and let's click on the home page so it's a little bit more homey. And then now we're just going to put in our username. So mine is Naragai, even though I'm like never on Instagram. And you can choose the number of photos. And I think that they said that medium looks best. Or original. That's what Laurel recommends. And let's just choose 6 photos across. Let's try that. Save it. And we can scroll down. All right, there we go. Now it's working. Now we're looking good. So when we X out, you'll now have set up your very own Instagram footer. Looking great, actually. I kid you not, that looks great, and good job. So that part's done. All right. Now we're going to add the copyright section to our blog. So really important, but often overlooked. And once you think of what you want to write, you can just remove the section at the bottom right here and write in your own text and links. So I already thought of something to write. So we're just going to go back to Customize. And now we're going to click on footer settings. And here we can get to work editing the footer copyright. So I already thought of some stuff I want to say. I just want to write copyright 17. And then I want to write Greg Narayan. And then I'm just going to hit the right arrow to move the cursor over. And instead of the periods, I want the vertical bar like that. So you'll just have to find that on your keyboard. In my case, it's in the upper right. And then going to the right even more. Designed and developed by. So what I'm going to do here is just remove designed and developed and write in the standard WordPress theme created by. Alright, so that way people know that we run WordPress and that there's a theme involved, and that if they want to get to know the creators, they can click our link right here and check it out. Alright, and now is the fun part. So now we're going to get our first taste of referral or affiliate marketing. And we just need a link for right here. We need to create a custom referral link for you. To do so, open up a new tab and head back to Theme Forest, where you bought your copy of the Laurel theme. And here we are. Alright, so once you're here, just click on, alright, that's, no, see ya. Oh, that actually looked interesting. What did that say? Dang it. It was something about an affiliate competition, which totally makes sense. Alright, well, we'll have to talk to that person later. So, okay, so we're going to click affiliates. And now what we need to do is just get the link to the Laurel page. So we have our username because we're signed in, and if you didn't sign in, make sure to go ahead and sign in. I'm going to open up another tab, and I'm just going to Google Theme Forest Laurel, because all of the Theme Forest themes are in Google. It'll find the theme right away. You can just click the first link. There it is. All right, so looking very familiar. And let's go to the top and copy the link. And now we'll come back to the affiliate page. Leave your username in there and just paste that link over where it says Invito Market page. So what this is doing is creating a referral link to any custom Invito page we tell it to. When you click away, the referral link will create itself. And now that's all we need to do. We just need to copy the referral link, which is now custom to you, because it'll say ref equals whatever your username is right here. So if your username is like Bob or Amy, it'll say ref equals Bob or ref equals Amy. And we're going to copy that. And now, easy as pie, just come back to WordPress and paste that in right over the SoloPine link. So we're going to actually just right click, paste it over that link. Alright, and sometimes when we save and publish, it doesn't actually go through. So I'm going to actually highlight everything we just made. Let's try that going the other way. Highlight it all and copy it just in case it doesn't get saved. We don't want to have to do it again. I don't want you to have to do that over again. So copy it. Alright. And now save and publish. Now let's try to complete the footer section. So if we scroll down, we can see it's working. And if we X out and go down on our actual home page, and you have your own beautiful custom footer section. Copyright 2017, the name of your site, all rights reserved, WordPress theme created by, and then we have the name of the theme creators, SoloPine, of course. When someone clicks it, that'll go right to the Theme Forest page where someone can buy the theme, and you'll get the referral credit, aka a little bit of income for marketing the theme to your audience. And just to prove to you that that works, we can see that I've made like $700 now from the referrals to Invito. So if we click that, and then if we click earnings, it's kind of tough to find this, so I wanted to show you. And then if we click from item sales, just referrals, then it'll show you how many referrals you're getting recently. And I haven't really been referring people to Theme Forest lately. I did in 2016 at the start with the Mr. Taylor theme and our e-commerce video, but not much lately. So if we click all time, then we get a little more activity. All right, so just something to look at. We have like dates, click-throughs. It was a lot in 2016. And then registered people who we want to deposit, because then we earn some referral income, and so on and so forth. All right, so it is real. You can definitely earn your money back and then some using the affiliate marketing system at Envato. All right, there's only one thing I wanted to change about that footer. So it's that I want the link to open in a new tab so someone doesn't leave your blog. So let's go back to customize, and I'm going to show you how to open a link in a new tab. Just click footer, navigate to the right part, and right after the quotation mark, not inside of it, but right after it, just make a space and write target equals quotation mark underscore blank close quote. That's just the shorthand for open link in a new tab that appears like everywhere on the web. Save and publish, close out, view the homepage. And now we're in business. All right, so good job, everyone. Let's cross off the copyright. The image effects section we actually already did before when we uploaded images and styled our horse carriage image in PicMonkey. So if you want to learn image effects, then click back to the upload images section. But this is just a free step that you guys can just cross off. And just when you thought you were almost done, by the powers of editing, we have to add our big promo boxes. But it's a quick step, and I think this is a cool feature for whatever kind of blog you want to create. So let's do that quickly. We can come to customize. Doesn't it always seem like when you're almost done, there's one more step? And now we're gonna go to promo box settings. So we had our promo boxes in widgets, and now we have promo boxes as their main tab right here, and those go on the home page. These are the big promo boxes. All right, and now we just need to get our window like right here, right beneath the image gallery slider, and click enable promo boxes. And I think a space should appear. There we go. All right, now to create our first big promo box, we're just gonna select image, and we're gonna choose one of the images that you uploaded. All right, so we're gonna choose this one, choose image, and this will be for our Instagram. So we're gonna call this one, there we go. And the URL is just gonna be the Instagram for Michelle's channel. So I got that link, I'm just gonna paste it in right here. And if you wanna follow Michelle, she definitely grams more than I do. Go ahead and just be nice, otherwise I'm not gonna be happy. So always be nice on social media, that's our rule. And we of course appreciate any follows you give us, because as you know now that you're creating a blog, building any social media following is very exciting stuff. And we're gonna come to promo box 2 now, so we can just fill this one in. Where am I going here? We can fill it in with another image. So let's click select image, and we're gonna grab the picture of the flowers and choose image. All right, very good. So this one is just gonna go to our shop page. So we can open up the site now, and you can right click on shop and copy link address, and then paste that in. Box number 2 URL, and then come on down, we have the third box, select image, and I'm gonna go with our artsy little snowflake fence image because I love this one. And so you can choose any images that will match whatever type of blog you're building here. And if you want to, start a blog about finance, maybe this says like stocks, and this one is inside tips, and this one is newsletter or something. You can create any images and link to any places. And box number 3 is just called our story. And the URL is just the about page. So we can right click, copy link address, and come back and paste that in right here. So before we're done with this section, we need a title for box number 2, which was shop. And we need a title for, actually we're all done. All right, so let's see what we made. And we have our 3 big promo boxes looking fantastic. All right, so great job everybody. Save and publish, X out, and we can see what we made. Awesome. So let's cross off the big promo boxes. Next, I'm going to show you how to add Google fonts to your blog so you can style the blog and, let your creativity run wild. So the first step is just to Google fonts. All right, and you're gonna get fonts.google.com. Click that. And now we have all these awesome, stylish, interesting, hopefully emotion-evoking fonts that you can use for your stories, your posts, your reviews, your advice, whatever you're giving out, and find the perfect font. So I think India Flower looks really interesting and something like we might want to use for a story about the beach or about a road trip. And I'm going to show you how to use this one, but it also applies to how to use any font on Google. The first thing you need to do is click the plus button right here. And it'll give you this window that says family selected, or maybe the design will change. Google's always updating, but it should be the same steps. So you just open the window now, and even though it looks confusing, it's really easy. The first thing we need to do is click where it says link href. And you need to highlight this section, just like I did right there, and then copy it. All right, and now we're gonna go back to our web page or our blog or the head part. It's all just telling us code, but we just need to go back to our blog dashboard. And we already set up a nice plugin for inserting Google fonts. If you hover on settings, you can click WP insert code. And now all we need to do is open up the section for header code a little bit, just expand it. Give yourselves one space like that and paste in the code from Google. And make sure there's a space there so those codes don't get in the way. Just like I did right there, that's perfect. This section is perfect for inserting code from third-party sites like Google. And now save changes. So now we actually have to write in the new font on the page where we want it or the post where we want it. So let's click to our site and let's click the About page where we're going to use this font. All right, and we have our beautiful finished About page. So we can click Edit Page and we'll come down. And I'm going to create a new header for this font. So we actually already have two header 4s, but I'm just going to make like our own custom header. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to separate some text. We're going to capitalize the first word of that sentence. And now what we're going to do is make use of the Google CSS right here. So it's really easy to just follow along with me. We first need to copy everything in the second section that says font family. Make sure you get all of it, including the semicolon. All right, and then come back to the blog. And now just put your cursor at the start of where you want to include the font and follow along. We're going to write in alligator bracket P style equals quotation mark. And now I'm going to hit command paste or control paste just like that. Now close quotation mark, close alligator. And at the end of where you want the font to be, you could put it on a whole paragraph or just a couple words, whatever you want. Write in alligator / P alligator like that. So what we did is we enclosed this specific text right here in a new paragraph style, which is just called P style, a paragraph style. And then we decided what style that would be. So I think it'll work. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to update now. And now click View Page. And when we scroll down, we hope we see a new Google font. And we do. It's just a little bit small. So there it is. And Google Fonts are now working on our blog. And you can use a couple of them. I don't recommend more than 3 of them. But choose the best one for whatever blog you want to make. I don't like how it's so small though. So let's click Edit Page and come back. And if you put your mouse after the semicolon, you can write font-size, colon, and then choose a bigger font size, like 36 px for pixels, and then semicolon. So after one command, like this is one command, you need a semicolon right here. And then after another command, like font size, you need another semicolon, and you can write more right here. Update, view page. And now it's more easy to see that beautiful Google font. All right, guys, so great job. You now know how to insert Google fonts on a WordPress blog. All right, and I'm getting kind of sad. I didn't really think this moment would come about, but we're all done now. And we have a complete blog to go and show the world. I really can't believe it. I've thought we'd be building this blog like for weeks, but we finished it now. And I hope it wasn't weeks for you. I hope it was only a day or two. But in any case, now you have this awesome blog, and it could be about any subject. I hope I showed you that you can make any blog and gave you some inspiration to try out any niche and really, go improve the world, that you can do it. And it's not just another blogger doing it. It's you and your blog, and all the rewards, the social media, the comments, the statistics, the income, the fame, the speaking events, the ability to quit your job, and of course, all the great writing and, all the beauty is coming back to you. I hope that's how it is. And I mean it. You deserve it. If anyone else can make a popular blog that someday becomes like Forbes or Huffington Post or TechCrunch, Mashable, Time Magazine, any of the blogs we've heard of, then there's no reason you can't do it too. Good luck, and me and my small team at dearblogger.org and the WordPressExperience.com are always here to help you. So I'm signing off. I'm really sad, but I want to say congratulations on completing this tutorial. I loved making it for you. These are always super fun. This is like the fun part of my work, and I can't wait to hear from you on what you're making. We always have a showcase of new blogs and websites that are coming out from tutorials. So all you have to do is, send me an email with that blog, and we'll hopefully get you hooked up and featured in the showcase, and that can get you some new traffic too. So congratulations, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. All right, see ya.